Hey everybody, this is Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous. Welcome to the Twin Peaks Thought of the Day video for Thursday, May 18th, 2017. I hope all of you are doing well. I am doing a little bit better than yesterday. I have to tell you, yesterday was a rough day for me, but I feel a lot better today. I've been breathing through my nose and out of my mouth all day long. It's going to be okay. This Twin Peaks is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, yesterday was a bad day for it just rubbed me the wrong way in so many unfortunate ways. So anyway, tonight I am by my lonesome. Sad to say. This week has been incredible. I've had a lot of good guests on here. I've reached out to a number of other people to be guests. Unfortunately, sometimes, coordinating schedules are a lot harder to do when you're an adult. So some people aren't going to be able to come on and be a guest until maybe after the new season starts. And then we'll talk about the new season and maybe some stuff from, seasons 1 and 2. But again, coordination is sometimes very difficult. But I didn't want to go tonight without a video. I mean, come on. We are 3 days away. Isn't that insane? 3 days away from new Twin Peaks. It's like I've just been growing more and more speechless as the week has continues. So I was kind of racking my brain, like, well, what should I do tonight? Now I have an idea of what I want to do the night before, but for tonight, I was like, well, I'm all by my lonesome. There's not really a lot of news that's come out. There's been a lot of articles that have been written, a lot of articles that, are here to hype up the new show, which is great. Of course, they can't really say really anything because nobody knows anything, which is kind of the fun of it. So it is kind of enjoyable to watch, websites and stuff just writing up article after article about this stuff, and there's really nothing to say except it's coming out Sunday. Now, I could be wrong, but I thought I saw something yesterday about a theater premiere tomorrow, but I can't find any evidence of that anymore. So maybe it was just a joke online. I have no idea. I got quite concerned because I thought, well, maybe I will have to quit the internet tomorrow for a few days because I don't want any spoilers or, real spoilers. I don't want to hear people talk about this show in depth before I've seen it. So people can have a screening of the first 2 hours. Well, yeah, that would the news would definitely be hitting the internet very fast, and I don't want to read any of that. I mean, even the Cannes Film Festival or the Cannes Film Festival, they're not playing the 2 hours until I think the 25th of May. So they purposely waited until after the Showtime premiere so that news from the festival would not, hit the world. And so people wouldn't have the mystery ruined for them. So the idea that there could be a theater premiere tomorrow, that worries me. So if that's true, and I thought I saw something about it yesterday, but I can't, like I said, I can't find it today. If it's true, I'm out tomorrow morning. I'll still do the videos and stuff, but I am not going on Facebook. I don't want to read anything. Twitter, nope. So yeah. Let me check the chat real quick. I see a number of you are here and watching. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see if any of you know anything about this screening. Okay, yes. Hal Brandt writes, tomorrow at 5:15 p.m. Pacific time, Entertainment Weekly will be live across social media, bringing you directly to the world premiere of Twin Peaks, including a red carpet Facebook live show. Yeah, I'm out. I'm not yeah. I'm not gonna be anywhere online. No, no, I've waited way too long to have somebody just slip something out. Yeah, so maybe the rest of you feel the same, and we'll all just jump off social media together for maybe 3 days. I don't know. It's very hard to do. It's this internet, social media. It's kind of like nicotine. I mean, you just or alcohol. You find yourself going on Facebook or something like that, whether you want to or not. Sometimes your finger just naturally just hits the button and you're there. So, oh my goodness. Hal Brandt writes, "Have you seen The Art Life, David Lynch yet?" No, I have not seen it. I don't think it's not playing here in the States yet. But I'll see it eventually. I know that was supposed to be the original title. I'm glad they changed it, but the original title was Lynch 3 because there was Lynch 1 that was on one of his DVD releases, and then of course Lynch 2 uh, was incorporated into the bonus disc of Inland Empire. So this was Lynch 3. That's how they raised the money for it on I think it was either Kickstarter or Indiegogo, one of those two. But they renamed it The Art Life, which is probably a smart thing to do. But yes, the official Twin Peaks Facebook is announcing that the world premiere is going to be tomorrow. And of course, Entertainment Weekly is going to be there, like they just seem to be everywhere. Which is, I mean, it's fine, but it's just funny that wherever there's some big thing happening with like TV shows, Entertainment Weekly's there. It's just like, my goodness. See, S Lions Cricket says, "Yeah, I might need to jump off the social media bandwagon for a few days." I know it's gonna be tough. It's gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What's the patch for social media? I don't know. Dylan Snail writes, "I live in Portland on Saturday. Voodoo Donuts. I've heard they're good stuff. I haven't had them, but I've seen the Food Network shows where they talk about them. Voodoo Donuts is giving away Twin Peaks inspired donuts. It's so crazy to see Twin Peaks all over the place again." I agree. Let's see. JB says, "Maybe it's just a red carpet for promotion, but the actual episodes will not be played." Yeah, I have no idea. I just think it's weird. It's supposed to be this 18-hour movie, and yet people are going to be sitting down, maybe at the Cannes Film Festival, and just watching 2 hours of it, and that's it. So is there like a satisfactory ending at the end of the 2 hours? I mean, what makes I don't know. It's weird. I guess we'll find out soon enough, but still. Leonard says, "I heard of Voodoo Donuts open in LA. Direwolf says, "Yeah, I can't see these episodes being played early." Tony Wheelock says, "I heard it's for the cast and crew. Not sure media is allowed in, just EW doing live red carpet show." Yes, but news from inside the theater will come out on social media. Somebody will hit Reddit and just say what happened. So that's what I'm saying. It's time. It's time to commit. I've been saying this for a while. I got to hop off social media. Yeah. Well, now there's a definite time and a date as to when something's happening. So I'm out. I'm done. Yes, Matt LeBlanc says red carpet is before the movie, so I doubt spoilers will be said. Of course. But, I'm saying after the fact, then it will start hitting Twitter and Reddit and Facebook and all that stuff. S Lions Cricket says, "Can anyone confirm whether Cannes screened the first 2 episodes of the show on the 17th of May? No, they moved it to the 25th of May so that it won't ruin any of the news about the new show." Dallas Street says, "I'm planning on watching alone, then having a Twin Peaks party on Tuesday for friends who are working on Sunday. Maybe pie. Judge away." Oh no, I'm not judging at all. I'm just saying it's not for me, but I'm glad someone's enjoying that. It's fantastic. Okay, so tonight's episode is gonna be a little crazy. I got a full glass of water here because I've never even considered doing this before, but I was like, come on, we're 3 days away. We got to do something for tonight's episode, even if it's just me by my lonesome. So I was racking my brain, what to do. I was like, aha, I got it. Last night we were talking about Fire Walk with Me, as we happen to a lot on this channel. Mostly because Fire Walk with Me is a wonderful, wonderful, just really good film. And yet at the same time, it's also a missed opportunity in many ways. So there's so many wonderful discussion points you can have about the film. And David Lynch has said that Fire Walk with Me is going to play a key role in understanding the new season. And we don't know if it's going to tie directly into that, or whether Lynch is just saying that because he really wants Fire Walk with Me to be completely redeemed in the public's eyes. I don't know, but we will find out soon enough. So I was like, you know what? Tonight, we're going to talk about Fire Walk with Me, but we're not going to talk about the movie. And we're not going to talk about the missing pieces. And we're certainly not going to talk about Judy. No, we are going to talk about the original script. And we're not going to just talk about it. I'm going to read it. And you guys are going to comment, and we're going to discuss this. And yes, I'm planning to read all 134 pages of this thing. I have no idea how long this is going to take me. But I assure you, tonight's episode will definitely lead us to a place both wonderful and very, very strange. So before I begin, I need to get a glass of water, or have a sip of water. I mean, I can only imagine what is being said in the chat board right now. People are like, music to my ears. Leonard says, oh my Lord. Ha ha ha. Direwolf says, sick. Hal Brandt says, good Lord. Jared Hall says, nice. Dylan is saying, oh shit, let's go. You demand, Cameron. JB's like, wow, Bob, wow. Matt LeBlanc says, it's my bedtime in Canada. Come on. Hey, you can watch this episode tomorrow or another day. Dallas Street is looking for the Leland Palmer Funko Pop. Laura's like, cool. And Highland Slogger says, brave man. Now, I've never done anything like this before online, so you're gonna have to bear with me, and hopefully I will make this entertaining. I don't want to just be like, and then Cooper did this. I want to bring out some theatrical presentation, and I really wish, and if it wasn't for, I wish I could play like music in the background and all that stuff, but that's just going to be too crazy if I try to do that. So here we go. Jared Hall says this is going to be epic, and Nina says, I'm so excited. Oh, you should be. And please pray for my voice to hold out. All right, here we go. So we all know the film in its final form was called Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. But when I received this script, must have been, I'm going to say early 93. I was so happy to receive it because obviously I was a fan of the movie, but I also wanted to know about all the scenes that had been cut out. It had been, obviously we were a long way away from seeing any of the missing pieces. And you will see that there's a whole lot more that we haven't seen. We've been talking about this for a while. And so it always cracks me up that there's these fan cuts out there, Fire Walk with Me, because they just kind of took the missing pieces and put them back in. And that's great for people who are interested in that kind of stuff. But don't fool yourself. That is not the ultimate Fire Walk with Me, because we don't have all the scenes. All right. Oh, Hal Brandt says, are you going to do all the voice imitations? Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe some. Daduda says, I will stick it out for the Chester storyline at least. Well, please come back later. Is this the August 8th one? Yes, it is, which I'm sure you can find online. So if you want to follow along, please do. Matt LeBlanc says $10 that 3 lines in. Cameron's a better Chet Desmond. Oh, come on. I love Chris Isaac. All right, so here we go. Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me came out August 28th, 1992 in American theaters. It was greeted with not very well liked opinions by obviously critics, a lot of fans, not just casual fans, but a lot of hardcore fans, because like we've talked about, timelines continuity was kind of thrown out the window for a lot of it. But still, it's a very, very, very good film. I don't think it's the masterpiece that everyone says it is, only because I think Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart are like cinematic films, and Fire Walk with Me, it's obviously it's a movie, but because it was filmed in 1:8:5, which is very different than a lot of Lynch films, because he usually shoots 2:35:1 scope aspect ratio. It didn't feel quite as cinematic as some of his other movies. And in fact, if you watch The Missing Pieces, some of those scenes seem more cinematic than some of the scenes that ended up in the movie, right? So, I mean, it did kind of feel like, a Twin Peaks movie, but you hear a title like Fire Walk with Me, and you almost expect the opening credits of Wild at Heart with those waves of flames. We didn't get that. We got a snowy TV screen, which is wonderful. But it's very different than what we were expecting Lynch to do cinematically. So again, I really like the film, but I've always maintained that there's a lot of missed opportunities within it. It doesn't mean that I don't like it. I mean, I do. And you will see as we go through the screenplay, that it was going to be one hell of an amazingly different movie than what we got. So I'm gonna check the chat board one more time. Let's see. Okay, Pepper Dion says Lynch's quote was, "The new series has to work on its own. It doesn't hurt to know the past, but it's not a prerequisite." Yeah. Oh, I'm sure, because they can't just depend on people knowing the first 2 seasons in the movie, even though Showtime deliberately aired the 2 seasons in the movie prior to the new show. So, okay, let's get started, because I have no idea how long this is gonna take. All right. So, like I said, the movie was called Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me. Came out August 28th, 1992. But first thing you notice when you get to the first page of the script, you will realize that the movie is indeed called, let's see if I can get this situated here, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, comma, Teresa Banks, and The Last 7 Days of Laura Palmer. Now, obviously, that would never make it onto the marquee screen, but you will see that they obviously had more on their minds than just making Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me. So this screenplay was written by David Lynch and Bob Engels. This is the official shooting draft. All right. Dated August 8th, 1991. So this is just about 2 months after the final episode aired on ABC. I believe it was June 10th or June 11th of 1991. That's when the final episodes aired. All right, so here we begin. Okay, fade in. There's no mention of the snowy TV, but we just begin with the first scene. Scene 1, exterior, Wind River, Washington, day. On screen, it reads 1988, Wind River, Deer Meadow, Washington. Obviously, that wasn't in the movie. Anyway, Teresa Banks' body wrapped in plastic, floating through Hell's Canyon, drifting along in Wind River. On screen, it reads Teresa Banks. I always thought that was funny that they included that because it's like, we want people to know this isn't Laura Palmer, but so we're just gonna flat out put a name, Teresa Banks, underneath this floating body. It was so amusing to me. Anyway, after that, it fades out, and then we fade back in. Scene 2 is an exterior of the FBI office in Portland, and we get an establishing shot of that. Scene 3, interior Gordon Cole's office. Gordon Cole talks on the speakerphone. Get me Agent Chester Desmond in Fargo, North Dakota. Scene 4, exterior highway, Fargo, North Dakota, day. A school bus. 2 very buxom prostitutes are being handcuffed by a plainclothes special agent, Chester Desmond. Another agent has his gun to the spread-eagled bus driver's head. The kids inside the bus are screaming. The phone inside Chester Desmond's car starts to ring. Desmond walks to the car. Scene 5, interior Desmond's car, day. Desmond picks up the phone. Yes? Intercut with Cole. Cole says, Chet, I'm calling you from Portland, Oregon. And there's no mention of the of Chet hitting the button to take down the antenna, but that was a great touch in the movie, I gotta say. Desmond. Okay, Gordon. Cole. No, it's Oregon. Portland, Oregon. It's Regional Bureau Chief Cole out in Portland, Oregon. I need you out here, Chet. Desmond, a little louder. Okay, Gordon. Cole. Oregon. A young girl's been murdered, 17 years old, named Teresa Banks. Desmond, very loud. Okay, Gordon. Desmond electronically lowers the aerial, adjusting the volume. So we get that after they kind of move that up a bit. Cole says, got a map of the environs of the Yakima Indian Reservation with your name on it. Better bring a pole. Desmond, smell something fishy, huh? Cole, I've got a surprise for you, Chet. Something interesting that I would like to show you. Arrangements are being made, and I will meet you at the Portland airport. Not the private Portland airport, just the Portland airport. All right, scene 6. Exterior small airport outside of Portland, day. Small government plane lands. Desmond exits the plane. Scene 7. Interior security lounge of the airport, same. Well, obviously, we didn't get that moment. They just shot the scene on the actual tarmac. Desmond enters. Cole and another man, Sam Stanley, walk towards him. Cole mentioning to the man standing there, Chet, give Sam Stanley the glad hand. He's come over from Spokane. Desmond and Stanley shake. Stanley, it's a pleasure. I've heard a lot about you. Cole, Sam's the man who cracked the Whitman case. Desmond, congratulations. I heard about that. Cole, plowing ahead. You're surprised, Chet. Not in the movie, it's Chet, you're surprised. Now it's, you're surprised, Chet. Her name is Lil. Lil walks to them from another room. She goes into a contorted dance. Lil's dance. Things we notice. She makes a sour face. She walks in place. She puts one hand in her pocket and makes a fist with the other. While she is doing this, she blinks both eyes. She is wearing a red wig. At one point during this, Cole adds a sentence. She's my mother's sister's girl. Cole holds 4 fingers in front of his eyes. Desmond, noticing the fingers. Federal? Cole gives him the thumbs up. And Lil finishes her dance. Cole, good luck, Chet. Turns to Sam. Sam, you stick with Chet. He's got his own MO, modus operandi. You can reach me at the Philadelphia offices. I'm flying out today. Desmond. Right, Gordon. We'll be in touch. Scene 9. Exterior highway on the way to Deer Meadow. Day. Desmond's car on the highway. Scene 10. Interior. Desmond's car. Same. As they barrel down the highway. Stanley. That was really something. That dancing girl. What did it mean? Desmond. Code. If you work with Gordon, you learn that right away. Stanley. Code. I've heard a lot about this. Desmond pulls his arm back so that only his fingers come out of his sleeve. Desmond. Sort of shorthand. Stanley, missing the humor. Shorthand? Really? Desmond. We're heading into a difficult situation. Stanley. How do you figure? Desmond. I'll explain it to you. Do you remember Lil's dance? As Desmond explains, we intercut with flashbacks of Lil's dance in slow motion. On Lil's sour face. Desmond. Lil was wearing a sour face. Stanley. Well, what do you mean? Desmond. Her face had a sour look on it. That means we're going to have trouble with the local authorities. They are not going to be receptive to the FBI. On Lil's blinking both eyes. Desmond. Both eyes blinking means there's going to be trouble higher up. The eyes of the local authority. A sheriff and a deputy, that would be my guess. 2 of the local law enforcers are going to be a problem. Lil puts one hand in her pocket and one in a fist. Desmond. If you notice, she had one hand in her pocket, which means they are hiding something, and the other hand made a fist, which means they are going to be belligerent. Lil starts walking in place. Desmond. Lil was walking in place, which means there's going to be a lot of legwork involved. We see Cole putting his fingers in front of his face and saying Lil is his sister's girl. Desmond. Cole said Lil was his mother's sister's girl. What is missing in that sentence? The uncle. Stanley. Oh, the uncle is missing. Desmond. Not Cole's uncle, but probably the sheriff's uncle is in a federal prison. Stanley. So the sheriff has an uncle who's committed a serious crime? On Lil's red wig. Desmond. Right. Which is probably why Lil was wearing a red wig, meaning we are headed into a dangerous situation. Let me ask you something, Stanley. Did you notice anything about the dress? Stanley. The dress she was wearing had been altered to fit her. I noticed the different color thread where the dress had been taken in. It wasn't her dress, or she must have lost some weight. Desmond. Gordon said you were good. The tailored dress is our code for drugs. Did you notice what was pinned to it? Stanley. A blue rose? Desmond. Very good, but I can't tell you about that. Stanley rides along quietly for a while. Stanley. What did Gordon's tie mean? Desmond. What? Oh, that's just Gordon's bad taste. Stanley. Why couldn't he have just told you all these things? Desmond. He talks loud and he loves the code. Stanley. I see. He does talk loud. Desmond. Gordon would not have sent us to Deer Meadow without thinking it was a high priority situation. Stanley. It must be a high priority situation. Scene 12. Exterior highway, same. Desmond's car drives off. Dissolve 2. Scene 13. Exterior, Deer Meadow, Sheriff Station, afternoon. Desmond and Stanley arrive. The sheriff station is in a sorry state outside. They walk up the old steps and enter. Scene 14. Interior, Deer Meadow, Sheriff Station, reception area, day. Agent Desmond and Stanley walk into a very small reception area. At the counter, Desmond shows his badge to Cliff Howard, the deputy. Desmond, good afternoon. Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Chet Desmond. I'd like to see Sheriff Cable. Cliff just smiles for a long time. Why don't you folks have a seat? Make yourself at home. It's going to be a while. Desmond stays standing, and Stanley sits. After another long moment, Cliff joins the secretary in a conspiratorial giggle over the long wait they're planning to give the FBI. In the middle of a giggle, Cliff smiles up at Desmond. Cliff, why don't you have some of that coffee? It was fresh 2 days ago. Cliff has a good laugh over this and leans again over the secretary, pretending to look at some paperwork. They both laugh. Desmond says, okay, that's it. I've had enough of the waiting room now. Cliff, oh, isn't that interesting? They're bringing up the waiting room, and of course there's the Black Lodge and the waiting room there as well. Interesting. Desmond walks towards the door that obviously must go to Sheriff Cable's office. Cliff blocks his way with his arm across the doorway, daring him to do something. While they stare eye to eye, Desmond's hand goes up slowly towards Cliff's face in a slow, mesmerizing way. I remember at that moment when they showed like Chris Isaac kind of looking at him, he looked otherworldly, which is interesting because they say in the script, slow, mesmerizing way. It made me think that Chet Desmond was like an alien or something, maybe something out of the Hidden film that Kyle MacLachlan was in, where he played alien FBI agent, which is kind of funny. Cliff tries to knock Chet's hand away. Chet counters by grabbing Cliff's nose and pinches a nerve to its side, injecting Cliff with a great amount of pain. Cliff, ah! Desmond spins the deputy 180 degrees, placing himself on the inside of the office, and then still pressing the nerve guides Cliff down into a chair. While the deputy's eyes tear copiously, Desmond turns to the secretary. Desmond, you can start that fresh pot of coffee right now. Desmond stalks to Sheriff Cable's office, huh? Okay. Stanley remains behind, continuing to observe every detail. It's kind of cute, right? When Kiefer Sutherland sitting in the chair and he's like looking at the office and stuff. Scene 15. Interior, Sheriff Cable's office day. Sheriff Cable looks up from his work. Cable, how the hell did you? Desmond shows his credentials. Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Chet Desmond. Cliff, still holding his nose, appears just behind Desmond, who turns to him. Desmond, that's all right, deputy. Sheriff Cable can take it from here. Cable signals Cliff to leave. Desmond, I'm here to investigate the murder of Teresa Banks. Cable, well, little fella, we don't need any outside help here. I don't like you people sniffing around my neck of the woods. In fact, when the state boys called me about a J. Edgar coming up here, I think I said, so what? Desmond, your behavior is not funny and is wasting the time of the federal government. Cable, you're lucky I'm not wasting you. Desmond, well, little fella, let me put it this way. The operative word here would be federal. With or without the semantics of all of this, I am now ordering you to release all pertinent information concerning Teresa Banks, both while living and deceased. Cable retrieves a box with the paperwork and some personal effects, throws it to Desmond. Cable, basic kill. Banks was a drifter and nobody knew her. My boys have been all over this. It's a dead end. Desmond, that's why we're here, Sheriff Cable. Where's the body? Cable, out back in our morgue. Desmond starts to leave. Cable, it's 4:30. We close at 5. Desmond, we've got our own clock. We'll lock up. As Desmond turns to leave, he notices on the wall a framed newspaper clipping with the picture, Cable bends steel. The newspaper shows a picture of Cable in a He-Man pose, bending a steel bar into a U shape. He turns to leave, and Stanley seems to have appeared right on time. Desmond moves down the hall, and Stanley follows. Scene 16. Exterior Sheriff Station, day. As Desmond and Stanley walk to the adjoining morgue, they see a pile of steel bars, similar to the one they saw Cable bending in the picture. At the morgue door, Stanley moves up to Desmond and speaks confidentially. Stanley, you know, Agent Desmond, I figure this whole office, furniture included, is worth $27,000. Desmond doesn't know what to say to him, and they enter the morgue. Scene 17. Interior tiny morgue, day. Teresa's body is on the platform in the middle of the room. Stanley hangs his recorder on the hooks at the end of the autopsy table and puts on rubber gloves. Desmond opens Teresa Banks' file. Desmond. Teresa Banks lived at the Canyon Trailer Park for a month. We'll check that. And worked as a waitress at Hap's truck stop. Worked the night shift. Good place for dinner when we're through here, Sam. Flips to another page. No one came to claim the body, and no next of kin. As Desmond is doing this, Stanley takes out his special machine. Desmond looks up from his work and notices. Stanley. Solve the Whitman case with this. Desmond. Well, that's what I heard. Stanley. No one could find those splinters without a machine like this, and no one has a machine like this. Desmond. Well, that's good. Stanley. Yes, it is good. Looks around. What do you think is in all these drawers? Desmond. I don't know, Sam. Stanley. Maybe. Later we should take a look. Desmond. Sure. But let's finish up with this first. Getting to work, Stanley's face goes right over Teresa's. Stanley into his recorder. Crushed skull. Probable cause, repeated blows to the back of the head with an obtuse angled blunt object. Subject looks to be between 16 and 18 years of age. Pamela Gidley looked a lot older than 16 years old in the movie, but yeah, okay. Desmond says, Cole said she was 17. Stanley's eyes drift to Teresa's left hand. I wonder where her ring is. Desmond notices the mark on her hand as well. Desmond, yeah, looking into the personal effects. Personal effects include a watch, undergarments, and a blue waitress uniform. The ring is missing. It says the rest of her things haven't been removed yet from the trailer. Let's hope it's there. Stanley picks up her left hand. Insert Teresa Banks' left hand. Stanley. There seems to be a contusion under the ring finger of her left hand. Desmond. Oh? Stanley peers underneath the fingernail. Stanley. A laceration. Stanley brings over his Whitman instrument. Works the left hand under it. Desmond. Accidental? Stanley. Agent Desmond, would you hold the finger for me? There's something up there. He gets whatever it is with a long set of tweezers. Desmond. What is it? Stanley. It is a piece of paper with the letter T imprinted on it. Take a look. Desmond comes around and takes a look. Insert the letter T on a piece of paper. Desmond ponders what he has seen. We move across to a clock on the wall that reads 5:04. Dissolved to the same clock, it now reads 3:33. Stanley zips up a regulation body bag around Teresa. Exterior morgue, late night. Desmond and Stanley come out of the morgue. Stanley. Geez, Agent Desmond, it's 3:33 in the morning. Where are we going to sleep? Desmond. We're not. You and I are going to get some food. Stanley. Yes, it's been several hours since we've eaten. I didn't realize that so much time had passed. Did you, Agent Desmond? Desmond takes a look at Stanley. Stanley, you've got your own MO, don't you, Agent Desmond? Desmond gets in and starts the car. Scene 19, exterior Hap's Diner, late night. Establish. Scene 20, interior Hap's Diner, manager's office, late night. Desmond and Stanley talk with Jack, the manager who has black wavy hair with a black full mustache to match, shiny silk shirt with silver strands sewn in, and an Indian turquoise belt. He has a sign on his shirt that says, "Say goodbye to Jack." A guy in the room is working on a light that keeps buzzing and shorting out. He doesn't really know what he's doing, so he's poking at the wiring. Jack. Had the FBI here once before, back in the 50s when Hap was running the place. Desmond. Where's Hap? Jack. He's dead. Good and dead. Desmond. Sorry to hear it. Jack. He didn't suffer. Desmond. I would like to ask you a few questions about Teresa Banks. Jack. Sheriff Cable's already asked me a few questions about Teresa Banks. She worked nights for a month. That's it. Desmond. Any friends? Jack. No. Desmond. Ever see her with someone else? Jack. No. Desmond. Did she ever mention any friends? Jack. No. Then he points. Ask Irene over there. He gestures through a door that leads out to the diner, pointing out a woman behind the counter. Jack. Now her name is Irene, and it is night. Don't take it any further than that. There's nothing good about it. Scene 21. Interior Hap's Diner. Same. They sit at the counter, and Irene comes over to them. Behind her is the coffee, and she is working on a cigarette. Lipstick smeared on the coffee cup. Irene. Take a look around. There's nobody in this place. You're meeting the reason why. What'll be? Desmond. How come Jack lets you work here? Irene. Jack and I are united in holy matrimony. Desmond. Say no more. Stanley is casing the restaurant as Irene pours them a couple cups of coffee. Desmond shows his credentials. Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Chet Desmond, I'd like to ask you a few questions about Teresa Banks. Jack said you knew her. How well? Irene. She only worked here a month. Nice girl. Never seemed to get here on time, though. Ask me, she had a little problem with, she makes a sniff to indicate a cocaine problem. Irene. Came looking for a job with a friend of hers. Pretty girl. Could have been her sister. Desmond. What happened to her? Irene. There was only one job. Teresa took the job. Her friend took a hike. Never saw her again. So what? Laura went in with Teresa when she applied for the job? That's kind of funny. Desmond. Did you ever see Teresa take cocaine? Irene. No. Desmond. Do you take cocaine, Irene? Irene says, no, I do not. I never took cocaine or any other drugs. I don't take drugs. Stanley replies, nicotine is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. Irene, who's Shorty? Those drugs are legal. Desmond, he's with me. Anything you would like to tell us about Teresa Banks that would help us out? Irene, I've thought about that. I think her death is what you would call a freak accident. Desmond, thanks. An old guy, long and skinny, smoking, gets Desmond's attention. Old guy. You talking about that little girl that was murdered? Desmond, you have something to tell us? Old guy. Yeah. Desmond, What? Old guy. I can tell shit from Shinoa. Gets me a long way down that road. Desmond moves away from him. Stanley, you think we ought to question him? Desmond looks down at the coffee cup in Stanley's left hand. Desmond, what time is it, Stanley? Stanley checks his watch, pouring hot coffee on himself. Stanley, oh. Desmond guides his hand into a cough. Stanley, looking at his watch while his legs burn. Agent Desmond, Desmond, it's late, Sam. Stanley, to himself as he dabs his pants with napkins. It's not late. It's early. It's really early. Irene comes up to them with her purse in her hand. She is going off duty. Irene, you know, I never told anybody, but once for about 3 days, just before her time, Teresa's arm went completely dead. Desmond, what do you mean? Irene, her left arm, it was numb. She said she couldn't use it. Said it had no feeling, probably from the drugs she was taking. I just thought I ought to tell you. Desmond, thanks. Stanley watches her leave. Stanley, I doubt it was drugs. More likely a problem with a nerve. I could recheck the arm for injuries, but for real nerve work, we are going to have to take the body back to Portland. Desmond, I think that's a good idea. Scene 22, exterior Hap's Diner near dawn. As Desmond and Stanley head towards their car. Desmond, I think we should see the sunrise at the Canyon Trailer Park. Stanley, are you speaking to me in a code? Desmond, no, Sam. I'm speaking plainly, and I mean just exactly what I say. Stanley, in that case, we should go to the Canyon Trailer Park. Irene walks past them and towards the parking lot. Stanley and Desmond, thanks, Irene. Good. Catch themselves. Good morning. Stanley, thank God it is morning. Scene 23, exterior Canyon Trailer Court, dawn. So obviously, Canyon Trailer Park became the Fat Trout Trailer Park. Desmond and Stanley drive through to the manager's trailer, which is surrounded by a small white picket fence. They park and step to the trailer. Desmond knocks twice on the door. From inside, they hear a voice that makes Cole's voice sound like a whisper. Voice, oh God, what? Just then, Desmond and Stanley notice a sign on the door that reads, do not ever disturb before 9 a.m. Ever. Voice, can't you read? Stanley, 9's really late, and we are really early. They both fumble for their badges as they hear the manager coming closer to the door. They meet the manager, Carl Rod. Carl, God damn, this better be important. He stops in the middle of this when he sees the badges. Desmond, Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Chet Desmond and Agent Sam Stanley. Sorry to disturb you, but we would like to see Teresa Banks' trailer, please. Carl, more popular than Uncle's Day at a whorehouse. Takes one step out of his trailer. God damn, that morning sun is bright. Blue bright. Carl steps through the little picket fence's gate and leads them towards Teresa's trailer. Carl, Miss Simmons owns the trailer and she lives in town. Teresa rented it about a month ago. Desmond, did she have someone with her? Carl, right. She had a friend with her. The friend took off. Desmond, what was there an argument? Carl, not that I know of, but arguments do happen, don't they? Desmond, yes, they do. Did she have visitors? Carl, no. Hey, I already told this whole damn thing to the sheriff, not quite able. Here's the trailer now. He swings open the door. Carl, and this is exactly the way she left it. I never touched a goddamn thing. God. Desmond and Stanley go in. Scene 24. Interior, Teresa's trailer. Desmond smells the room. He and Stanley look around. Stanley leans over to Desmond. Stanley, whispering, She lived alone. Desmond, she must have known someone. Desmond notices her personal effects on the dresser, but no ring. Desmond, you better dust this place, Sam. Stanley, I'll get my kit. Scene 25, exterior Canyon Trailer Court. Stanley walks towards the car. He writes in his notebook, $5,600. Scene 26, interior Teresa's trailer. Desmond notices a picture hanging on the wall, takes the picture down and looks at it through his magnifying glass. Insert picture, Teresa Banks is wearing a ring. Back on the scene, Stanley returns with his equipment. Desmond shows him the photograph. Desmond, take a look at this. Stanley, she's wearing a ring. Stanley studies it. Desmond, my guess is there isn't enough detail in the photo to get an idea of the design on the ring, but we should do a blow-up of this anyway. Stanley, squinting at the picture. May I see the magnifying glass, Agent Desmond? Takes a look, then looks at Desmond. There doesn't seem to be enough detail in the photo to ascertain the design on the ring. Carl leans in from outside. Carl, I'm going to make myself some good morning America. You want some? Both nod yes. 27, scene 27, interior Teresa's trailer, later. Stanley is finishing up his work. Carl brings them their coffee. Desmond tastes the coffee under Sam's watchful eye. Desmond, you weren't kidding. This stuff's got the sting of the 48-hour blend. Carl, that's right. That's the best coffee you're ever going to get around here. Stanley, watching Desmond drink. We really do need a good wake-up call. Wake me up, don't we, Agent Desmond? After a long look from Desmond. We really do need a good wake me up, don't we, Agent Desmond? A woman then sticks her head into the trailer. She has an ice pack over one eye and a load of idle curiosity. Desmond notices her. Desmond, did you know Teresa Banks? She just nods in the negative and leans back out. Behind her is Deputy Cliff, who looks into the trailer. Cliff, hey, how's Jagger doing? To Carl. Bet you appreciate them busting your morning in half, hey, Carl? Bet they woke you up. Carl, they're only doing their job. Desmond, what are you doing here in the trailer court, Deputy? Cliff, maybe I just live here? What do you think about that? Desmond, can I ask you where you were the night Teresa Banks was murdered? Cliff, you can tell J. Edgar that I was at a party and I got 15 fucking witnesses. Carl, maybe if you did a little less partying, that little girl would still be alive. Cliff, is that right, Mr. Jack Daniels? Desmond, did you know Teresa Banks? Cliff, got a couple of cups of coffee at Haps from her. That's it. By the way, where do you get off questioning a lawman? I could ask you the same question. Desmond, no, you couldn't. Chet steps towards Cliff, who loses his balance and has to step off the trailer steps. Scene 28, exterior Canyon Trailer Court, same. Desmond stands in the doorway of the trailer and watches Cliff get into the car and drive to work. Stepping away from the trailer, Desmond spots something underneath. He bends down and retrieves a Titleist golf ball. Desmond, is there a golf course around here? Carl, not a lot around here, no. Got some clubs, but not very many fellows with balls. Desmond drops the ball in a plastic bag and gives it to Stanley, who puts it in his kit. Desmond turns to Carl. Desmond, thanks for your help, Carl. Sorry we woke you up. Carl, that's all right. I was having a bad dream. I was dreaming about a joke with no punchline. Desmond and Stanley nod to Carl and walk to their car. Stanley, I couldn't help but notice that you had a suspicion that Deputy Cliff was the murderer. You did think that, didn't you, Agent Desmond? Desmond. He's not the murderer, but he is a bozo. Stanley. Yes, he is like a clown. Desmond walks around the car to the driver's side and gets in. Scene 29, exterior sheriff station, midday. The FBI mobile crime van sits outside as Desmond and Stanley pull up. Scene 30, interior waiting room, Sheriff Cable's office day. Cable and Cliff meet Desmond and Stanley as they come in the door. Crime van driver sits nearby. The secretary is behind her desk. Cable, what the hell is that thing doing out there? You're not taking that body anywhere. Desmond, we're taking the body back to Portland, and there's not a thing you can do about it. Cable, maybe not a thing, but maybe two things. Desmond, Teresa Banks had a ring. Any idea what happened to it? Cable, we got a phone here. It's got a little ring. Desmond turns to Stanley. Sam, get the body and put it in the van. To Cable. Sheriff Cable, where were you the night Teresa Banks was murdered? Cable flexes the muscles in his arm. My alibi is as strong as these bands of steel. He reaches out and stops Stanley from going out to get the body. Cable smiles menacingly at Desmond. Cable, Cliff told me you asked him the same thing. Why don't we step around back and we'll have our final discussion outdoors? Cable exits, followed by Cliff and the giggling secretary. Stanley comes close to Desmond. When he says discussion, how do you take that, Agent Desmond? Desmond, I don't take it, Sam. I give it. Scene 31. Exterior, behind the sheriff's station, day. Desmond, Cliff, Stanley, Cable, and the secretary, and the FBI van driver all have stepped outside by the pile of iron bars. Cable, now, J. Edgar, I'm going to take off my badge here. Do you mind? Takes his badge off. The only way you're going to get that body is over mine. He picks up a steel bar and bends it, a la the picture in his office. Cliff to Desmond, you try that, you little monkey. Desmond, I think I'll take my badge off as well. Desmond takes his coat and badge off. Cable takes his shirt off, and Desmond follows. Cable is bare-chested, and Desmond is in FBI-issue underwear. Desmond goes to pick up an iron bar, and Cable hits him with a sucker punch. As Desmond bends away from this, Cable rushes at him. Desmond stops him with a few well-placed punches to his face. Cable falls down, and Desmond stands over him. Chet picks up the steel bar and bends it, and then tosses the bar away. Cable stands up and rushes at Desmond, who flips and flops him around. Cable tries one more grand roundhouse punch, which Desmond expertly ducks. Desmond, eyeing Cable's glass jar. This one's coming from J. Edgar. Desmond blasts him in the jaw, and Cable goes over. Lights out, all systems down. The no longer giggling secretary and Cliff stand and stare. Desmond looks at them. Desmond, who's next? After a moment of unbearable humiliation, they shuffle away. Scene 32. Exterior, sheriff station, afternoon. Stanley and the driver finish loading the body into the van. Desmond and Stanley talk. Desmond, take the van back to Portland. Stanley, I'm gonna take one more look around at the trailer park. They walk towards the van until Stanley stops. Stanley, confidentially. Stanley says, one thing that has been troubling me, the lamp at the diner. Do you think they were working on it for aesthetic reasons? Or was their work due to faulty wiring? Desmond, faulty wiring. Stanley, aesthetics are subjective, aren't they, Agent Desmond? Extends his hand. I'm Sam Stanley, if you ever need me. Desmond, thanks, Sam, for the good work. You have a good eye for detail. Stanley, we do notice things, don't we, Agent Desmond? Are you going back to the trailer park for the Blue Rose? Desmond smiles at Stanley as they shake. Desmond's POV. As he enters the van, Desmond can barely make out what Stanley says as he points to the driver. Stanley, very muffled, $83,000. Scene 33, exterior of the trailer court day. Desmond is standing in front of Teresa's trailer with Carl Rod. Carl motioning behind and to the right of Teresa's trailer. And that's Deputy Cliff's trailer over there, the red one. Chet. Right. Carl. I'll be in my trailer if you need me. Carl walks away towards his trailer. Desmond walks over and around Cliff's red trailer. He gets a strange feeling. He looks past Teresa's trailer to the edge of the trailer park, where he sees a hand appear in the window of a trailer. Then the hand disappears. Desmond walks to that trailer. He knocks on the door, but no one answers it. He looks under the trailer and sees a mound of dirt with a small indentation at the top. In the indentation is Teresa Banks' ring. As he reaches out and touches it, he disappears. Scene 34. Interior Gordon Cole's office, Philadelphia, day. Cole and Albert Rosenfield talk. Cole. Every syllable of every word is the sound of two hands clapping. Is that what you said, Albert? Albert. 6 to 8 hands clapping. I was referring to the possibility of a little silence. The phone rings and Cole answers it. Scene 35, interior, Philadelphia FBI offices. Agent Dale Cooper in the doorway across the hall talks to Diane in the next room. While he talks, he does some isometrics against the door frame. Cooper. I know you haven't changed your hair, and I've seen that beautiful dress before, but I must say, Diane, you look sensational today. Diane says something that we cannot hear. Cooper, enjoying this. No, I'm not trying to buy time. It's Thursday, and I know you have changed something in the room, and this time you've done very well. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is in a moment. You have moved, snaps his fingers. Got it. It's the clock. You've moved it 12 inches to the left. A laugh. Another triumph for the dashing Agent Cooper. And you, Diane, now have to clean the coffee cup, get fresh ground coffee from Sally, and make a damn great pot of coffee. Cooper, with a triumphant smile, walks over to join Cole and Albert. Cole's stern look takes his smile away. Cooper. What is it, Gordon? Cole. Coop, Agent Chet Desmond has disappeared. Gone like the wind in Deer Meadow. Scene 36. Interior, Sam Stanley's apartment. Spokane, day. All around the walls of Stanley's apartment are workbenches with adding machinery sitting on top of them. In the middle of the room is a portable plastic pool with milky white water and crystallized salt formations clinging to the sides like quartz rocks. From one odd-looking piece of machinery, there are wires which extend into the pool. Cooper's eyes go to the pool and back to Stanley as Sam talks about Desmond. Stanley. Agent Chet said he wanted to check the trailer court one more time. He had me drive the van with the body back here, which we did. It was 105 miles. Cooper. Anything else? Stanley. Did Gordon show you a woman named Lil? Cooper. I'm up to speed, Stanley. Stanley. Agent Chet wouldn't tell me about what the Blue Rose meant. Cooper. And neither will I. Stanley, understanding. Oh, all right. Reflecting. You know, I liked Agent Desmond. He had his own MO. Stanley turns to one of his work tables and shows Cooper the Whitman machine. Stanley, I cracked the Whitman case with this. Cooper, trying to stop him. Stanley, I heard all about it. Stanley, no one could have found these splinters without a machine like this. And no one has a machine like this. Cooper, tell me about the letter. Stanley, take a look at this. Chet and I found it under Teresa Banks' ring fingernail. Cooper looks under the microscope to see the letter they found on Teresa. Cooper, and no one found the ring? Stanley, no, sir, we did not. Cooper straightens up from the microscope. Stanley extends his hand. Stanley, I'm Sam Stanley if you ever need me. Scene 37. Exterior Canyon Trailer Court Day. Carl Rod shows Cooper to Teresa's trailer. Carl, God, I'm beginning to lose faith in the United States government, and that includes the telephone system. Don't you folks talk to one another? That's her trailer there, and I haven't touched a goddamn thing. Agent Chet Desmond come by a second time and asked to see Deputy Cliff's trailer, gestures to the red trailer, which I showed him. I went back to my trailer. After that, I never saw him again. Cooper, thank you, Carl. Cooper starts walking in the opposite direction from Cliff's trailer, picking up on the same odd vibe that struck Desmond. Carl, that's not the way to Cliff's trailer, I told you. Cooper, I'm not going to Cliff's trailer. Carl, well, where are you going? Cooper, I'm going over there. Carl, God damn, you people are confusing. Cooper reaches a pack of dirt, which is now creased with tire tracks. Cooper, what was here, Mr. Rod? Carl, a trailer was here. What the hell do you think? Cooper, can you tell me whose trailer it was and who stayed in the trailer? Carl, an old woman and her grandson. Cooper, can you tell me what their names were? Carl, Chalfont. Weird. Chalfont was the name of the folks that rented the space before they did. 2 Chalfonts. Cooper kneels to examine the tracks left by the exited trailer. As he kneels and inspects the tracks, he's overcome by the presence of something. Cooper struggles to his feet and looks around. Under a tree and close to the tracks is a car. Cooper, is that Agent Desmond's vehicle? Carl, yep, it sure is. Cooper walks to it. Cooper inspects the car. Coming around to the front of the car, he notices the windshield. On the windshield, someone has written the words, "Let's rock." Scene 38, exterior, Wind River, near Deer Meadow, afternoon. Cooper stares into the stream, dictating into his recorder. Diane, it's 4:20 in the afternoon. I'm standing here at Wind River where they found the body of Teresa Banks. Diane, this case has got a strange feeling for me. Not only has Agent Chester Desmond disappeared, but this is one of Cole's Blue Rose cases. The clues that were found by Agent Desmond and Agent Stanley have led to dead ends. The letter below the fingernail gives me the feeling that the killer will strike again. But like the song says, who knows where or when. Scene 39. Exterior, Twin Peaks Day. Shot of the Twin Peaks sign. Then on screen it says, Twin Peaks, 1 year later. Exactly 7 days before the murder of Laura Palmer. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to get a sip of water. I'm going to check the comments, see if you guys have anything to say right now. Let's see. Yeah. You guys are just wonderful comments. Thank you so much for even watching something like this. Okay. All right. Well, that was our little break. Let me get one more sip of water and then we'll resume. All right. Scene 40. Exterior, the Palmer house, day. Laura Palmer walking towards us. The picture of a homecoming queen. Scene 41. Exterior, FBI headquarters, Philadelphia, day. Reestablish. On screen it says Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scene 42. Interior, Cole's office. Cooper talks with Cole. Cooper. Gordon, it is 10:10 on February 15th. Gordon. So, Cooper, I was worried about today from the dream I told you about. Cole. Right. Not sure what to say. Good work. Cooper looks at the calendar in the room and checks his watch. He walks from the room. Scene 43. Interior hallway below the surveillance camera. Same. Cooper stares into the lens of the camera for a moment, then sprints to the surveillance room. Scene 44. Interior surveillance room. Cooper stares at the monitor, sees nothing on the screen, but an empty hallway. Scene 45. Exterior Buenos Aires Hotel, day. Nice sunny day, the city in all its glory. On screen it reads Buenos Aires. Scene 46. Interior Buenos Aires Hotel, day. Philip Jeffries checks into the hotel. Head clerk. Here's your key, Mr. Jeffries. I hope you enjoy your stay here at the Palm Deluxe. Grabs a note. This is for you. The Joven young lady, she left it. Rings the bell. A bellhop appears, young, sweating and eager. Jeffrey hands him the key. Bellhop. 612. Very nice. He picks up Jeffrey's bag and heads for the elevator. Scene 47. Interior hallway below the surveillance camera. Same. Cooper runs out to the hall again, stares into the camera. He stares there for a moment, then runs back to the surveillance room. Scene 48. Interior surveillance room. Same. Cooper stares at the monitor, which still shows an empty hallway. Scene 49. Interior hallway below the surveillance camera. Same. Back on Cooper. He runs back out the door into the hallway. Behind him, at the end of the hall, a door opens, and Philip Jeffries, who moments ago was in Buenos Aires, enters the hallway headed towards Cooper. But Cooper doesn't see him because he is staring intently into the camera as he has done twice before. Scene 50. Interior surveillance room, same. Cooper races into the room and stares into the monitor. Scene 51. On the monitor. This time, Cooper is amazed to see himself staring into the camera, and behind him is Philip Jeffries, coming towards him and the camera. On the screen, Jeffries walks past Cooper. Cooper. Gordon! Cooper runs into Gordon's office. Scene 52. Interior Gordon's office. As Cooper gets to Gordon's office, Albert and Cole are standing there, staring bug-eyed at Philip Jeffries. Cole. Philip! Albert stands up. Albert. Philip? Jeffries moves into the room. Cooper stops into the office. Cooper. Philip? Cole. Cooper! Meet the long-lost Philip Jeffries. You may have heard of him at the academy. Jeffries stares at the threesome. Jeffries. I'm not going to talk about Judy. Keep Judy out of this. Cooper. But Cole calms Cooper. Stand fast, Coop. Jeffries, pointing at Cooper. Who do you think that is there? Albert, trying to calm Jeffries. Suffered some bumps on the old noggin, eh, Phil? Cole. What the hell did he say? Pointing at Cooper. That's Special Agent Dale Cooper. Are you okay, Jeffries? Where the hell have you been? Jeffries. I want to tell you everything, but I don't have a lot to go on. But I'll tell you one thing. Judy is positive about this. Albert, how interesting. I thought we were going to keep Judy out of this. Jeffries stumbles to a chair. Jeffries, listen to me carefully. I saw one of their meetings. It was above a convenience store. Albert, whose meeting? Where have you been? Cole, for God's sakes, Jeffrey, you've been gone damn near 2 years. That was a mouthful. Jeffries, it was a dream. Takes Albert by the arm. We live inside a dream. Albert, and it's raining post toasties. Jeffries, no, I found something in Seattle at Judy's, and then there they were. Albert is about to say something, but is stopped by Cole's gentle pressure on his arm. Jeffries, they sat quietly for hours. 53, interior room above the convenience store day. 6 people in a large, barren, filthy room. Cheap plastic storm windows flap in the cold wind. In the foreground, the man from another place, Mike, and Bob sit at the Formica table. Behind them are plastic torn chairs. Huddle Mrs. Treeman and her grandson. 2 big woodsmen with full beards sit quietly. First woodsman. We have descended from pure air. Man from another place. Going up and down. Intercourse between the 2 worlds. Bob. Light of new discoveries. Mrs. Treeman. Why not decompose the materials in combinations of atoms? Mrs. Treeman's grandson. This is no accident. Man from another place. This is the Formica table. Green is its color. First woodsman. Our world. Man from another place. With chrome, and everything will proceed. What is that word? Silic. I can't even say it. Silic. Sickle. I can't even say that word. I'm sorry. My CYCLICALLY. I'm sure if I heard it, I could say it, but my goodness, just saying it right, looking at it right now, I'm just like, what? Anyway, second woodsman. Boneless. Mike. Yes. Find the middle place. Bob begins to scream with anger. I have the fury of my own momentum. Treeman's grandson. Fell a victim. The man from another place raises his hand. Fire, walk with me. Bob claps his hand, and a circle of fire appears in the room. Bob, fire, walk with me. Through the circle, we see the red room. On the scene, Bob crawls into the red room, and Mike starts to yell and leaps in after him. Second woodsman. Thus time moves on. Back in the FBI office, Jeffries. I followed them. Jeffries begins to cry quietly at his table. Jeffries to himself. The ring. The ring. Cole. Albert, I'll take that second mineral water. After a hesitation, Albert gets the quote-unquote message and discreetly leaves the room. Cole. Philip, let's calm down and get all of this interesting story on paper. Cole tries to raise someone on the intercom, but it doesn't seem to have any juice. Cole into the speaker. Hello? Hello? He is getting nothing. The static begins to build on the intercom. The wiring in the wall and the fluorescent lights start to hum as well. Cole. Let me hear some good news. My device is faulty. Where the hell is the sound in this thing? Pounds on the intercom. Mayday! Hearing May, Jeffrey turns and stares at a calendar on the wall. Move into Jeffries. Jeffries. May 1989? Close up, Jeffrey staring at the calendar. It is 1989. Back on the scene, Cooper looks out of the room to see if anyone is coming to help Cole, who is trying to get the intercom to work. The static grows even louder. Cole, what? Am I alone? Cole turns back to Jeffries, but there is no one there. Jeffries is gone. Papers from Cole's desk are now sticking to Jeffries' chair. Cole, he's gone. Cooper, coming back into the room. What? Cole, Albert, come back here. He's gone. Call the front desk. Albert on the phone. I've got the front desk right now. He was never here. No record of him entering the building, and the doctor should be here any minute. Cole, frustrated. Great. I myself am going to be ready for them. Cooper, what's going on? Albert rushes back into the room. Cole, quickly, men. Word association, Coop. What are you thinking about right now? Cooper, Teresa Banks. Cole, Albert. Albert says, Tylenol? Cole, why are you thinking about Teresa Banks, Coop? Cooper, it was a year ago today that Teresa Banks was killed. I'm wondering if the murder will ever kill again. Cole, Albert, why Tylenol? Albert, no offense, sir, but after a day with you, it is mandatory. Scene 55. Interior Buenos Aires hotel corridor. Same. Jeffries is suddenly standing in the second-story hallway of the Buenos Aires Palm Deluxe Hotel. The wall behind him is seared black and smoking. A terrified maid is whimpering and scampering away from Jeffries, trying to stave away an epileptic fit. She is looking at him like he is the devil personified. The bellhop had run further away, but has turned back to see Jeffries reappear. He is afraid to come any closer. Jeffries to bellhop. Hey. Bellhop, half crying. Oh, Mr. Jeffries, this shit had come out of my ass. Santa Maria, where did it go? They stare at each other as the blackened wall continues to smoke. Scene 56. Interior surveillance room day. Cooper and Cole sit in front of the monitor. Cooper plays back the surveillance tape. It shows Jeffrey coming up behind Cooper, then moving past him. Cooper turns to Cole. Cooper says, he was here. Then an abrupt cut to scene 57. Exterior Hayward House. Laura Palmer continues down the sidewalk towards us. On screen, it says Thursday, 7 days before. Laura stops and turns. We suddenly find ourselves in front of the Hayward house. Laura, Donna Hayward, gathering her books, comes out of the door. Donna, just a minute, Laura. Scene 58. On the sidewalk, Donna joins Laura. Laura, if I'm going to get through math today, you're going to have to bring me up to speed quick. Donna, you didn't do your homework? Laura, no. Donna, a pal. Okay, this test is going to be about the theorems I told you about last week. You remember the... Laura, don't tell me now. Tell me right before the test. I won't be able to remember long enough. Donna, you graduating this year will be proof that miracles happen. Laura, thanks. Laura tweaks Donna's cheek. Donna, James called me last night looking for you. Laura, when? Donna, the usual, 9:15. Laura, he probably wanted to drive over. Donna, were you with Bobby, or are you two still fighting? Laura, no and yes. I don't know what I'm going to do about Bobby. I know he is seeing someone else, and that's okay with me. And he thinks I'm seeing someone else, and that's not okay with him. Donna, are you going to tell him about that someone else? Laura, I don't know what to do. Donna, you know what your problem is? You're just too adorable. Laura smiles. You know, I think you're right. I'm just too adorable. Donna grabs her and shakes her shoulders. Donna, singing along. Laura Palmer, you're just too adorable. Laura joined her, laughing. I'm just too adorable. I'm just too adorable. They continue up the sidewalk, laughing. Scene 59, exterior, Twin Peaks High School, day. Scene 60, interior, Twin Peaks High School, day. On Laura and Donna as they walk in. 5 of their admirers watch Laura and Donna with love and worship. They sing a kind of pining but cool chant with knees bent and arms outstretched. Admirers, Laura, Donna. On Donna, as they continue on the hall, a cool Mike Nelson snaps his fingers a la Bobby for Donna to come to him. Without missing a beat, Donna changes directions. Mike has to hustle to catch up with her. Mike puts his arm around Donna. That's why you need a real man, babe. You're tough to handle. Donna, and you're the real man? Scene 61. Interior, outside the girls' bathroom. James Hurley moves up behind Laura and pushes close to her. Laura, James. Laura, I'll meet you at 2:30 after phys ed. Laura, okay. James smiles and walks off. Laura enters the girls' room. Scene 62, interior girls' room, day. Laura ducks into a stall and does a quick hit of cocaine. The school bell rings simultaneously. Scene 63, interior hallway in front of trophy case, same. Bobby Briggs saunters into school, late as usual. The corridor is empty. Everyone else is in class. He walks to Laura's portrait in the trophy case, kisses the glass protecting it. Bobby, hey, baby. He continues unhappy and ultra cool to his class. Scene 64, school clock. It reads 2:30. Scene 65, interior custodian's room, day. James waits for Laura amidst the cleaning drums and brooms. The door swings open and Laura slides in wearing only a towel. They embrace in the half light. James, Laura, do you love me? Laura, yes, I love you. I've told you, but it doesn't really matter. James, why? It does. Laura, no, it doesn't. Just kiss me. James, it does matter. We're in love. Laura, James, you don't know what you're talking about. Quit trying to hold on so tight. I'm gone. Long gone, like a turkey through the corn. James, you're not a turkey. A turkey is one of the dumbest birds on earth. Laura, small smile. Gobble, gobble, gobble. He smiles. She kisses him, and he responds, James, don't ever leave Laura, ever. I'll never leave you. Laura moves into him, a hopeless embrace. His eyes full of hope, and Laura's empty. She pulls him to the floor to make love. Scene 66, exterior of the high school, day. A bell rings, and after a moment, students and teachers start to move out. Bobby catches up with Laura and Donna. Bobby, where were you for the last hour? I've been looking all over for you. Laura, I was right behind you, but you're too dumb to turn around. Laughing with Donna. If you turn around, you might get dizzy and fall down. Bobby grabs her roughly and spins her around. Students stop and stare. Bobby, I'm not kidding. Where were you? Who were you with? Laura, get lost, Bobby. Bobby, oh yeah? You'll be calling soon, and maybe I'm not going to be there. Laura, very smooth, cooing. Oh, come on, sweetie. Give me one of your smiles. Bobby can't hold on to his anger. Slowly, a huge smile spreads across his face. Bobby, smiling now. Love you, babe. Scene 67. Interior Hayward House living room, day. Donna and Laura are eating nuts. Donna is stretched out on the sofa, and Laura is in a chair with her legs over the top. She is almost upside down. Nothing going on. Eileen Hayward rolls through the living room in her wheelchair and makes a quick check of the nut supply. Laura. Hi, EH. Eileen with a nod to Laura. LP? To Donna. DH? Donna. Mom H? Eileen motors out. Donna to Laura. Are you going to see James tonight? Laura. Why are you so suddenly interested in who I'm going to see at night? Nighttime is my time. Donna. You're telling me, but only because you never let me in on any of it. You're not going to see Bobby, are you? Laura. Maybe. Donna. Oh, God, Laura. Laura. Well, why not? Donna. Because Bobby's a loser. You said so yourself. He's a goon. She sighs to herself. James is the one. Getting very dreamy. He loves you with that lasting love. True love. Laura looks at Donna. Laura. Yes, James is very sweet. Why don't you get out your violin, Donna? Donna. Sweet? God, he's gorgeous. Laura. James is very sweet and very gorgeous. Donna drifts off. Donna. I wonder if Mike could ever write a poem. Both of them drift off. Donna. Do you think that if he were falling in space, he would slow down after a while or go faster and faster? Laura. Faster and faster. And for a long time, you wouldn't feel anything. And then you would burst into fire forever. Donna studies her friend and thinks about what she has said. After a beat, Donna, maybe I should start our homework. Laura, okay, I suppose I should go home. Donna, call me. Laura, sure. What do you want me to call you? Donna, call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner. And they laugh. Scene 68, exterior Palmer House, day. Laura coming home from Donna's. Scene 69, interior Palmer House. Laura comes in the front door. No one seems to be home. Laura, Mom? Mom? No answer. She heads up to her room. Scene 70, interior Palmer House, stairs and fan. Laura moves up to her bedroom. Scene 71, interior Laura's room, day. Laura comes into her room and drops her books on her bed. She goes to the window and opens it, takes a package of cigarettes out, pulls one out, and lights it. She goes to her quote-unquote public diary, which she keeps on her desk, opens it to page 1, takes out a packet full of cocaine. Like a pro, she takes out her cocaine gadget from her purse and takes a snort. Then another. Big sigh of relief. Now she moves to her quote-unquote private diary behind her dresser, gets a pen, ready to write, and starts to freak out. Pages are missing. First, she discovers one, then more. Laura panics. Dropping her cocaine gadget back into her purse and taking her private diary, she sprints from the room. Scene 72. Interior Palmer House entranceway, day. Laura runs down the steps, nearly colliding with her mom, Sarah Palmer, coming home with a load of groceries, a cigarette in her mouth. Sarah, Laura, honey, smoke going into her tearing eyes. Cigarette, cigarette! Laura takes it out of her mouth. Laura, can I take the car? Sarah, sure, honey, what's the hurry? Laura, I forgot my books at school. Laura runs from the house. Sarah, Laura! Laura, what? Laura looks back to see her mom dangling the car keys in front of her. Laura comes back to get the keys, still holding the burning cigarette. Sarah sternly takes the cigarette from Laura's hand as they make the exchange. Sarah, you'll never be a smoker if you don't start. I mean it. Takes a drag. With barely a nod, Laura is gone. Scene 73. Exterior. 2-lane blacktop in Lowtown. Day. Laura speeds through Lowtown in her mom's 56 Roadmaster Buick. Scene 74. Exterior, Harold Smith's apartment. Laura skids up outside the apartment, then backs the car up to a darker, more enclosed area amongst some trees. Cautiously, she gets out of the car and then hurries to Harold's door. At the door, Laura frantically knocks. Harold Smith answers. Harold, Laura. Scene 75. Interior, Harold Smith's apartment day. Laura rushes past him to the sofa, opening the book for him to see. Laura, my secret diary. There are pages missing. Harold, well, who would do that? Laura, Bob. Harold, but Bob is not real. Laura, the pages are gone. That's real. Harold, okay, maybe. Laura, Bob is real. He's been having me since I was 12. Stunned, Harold doesn't know what to do. Laura, the diary was hidden too well. He's the only one who could have known where it was. He's getting to know me now. He's real. He speaks to me. Harold, well, what does Bob say? Laura, he wants to be me or he'll kill me. Harold, no, no. Laura, strangely, oh, yes, yes. Laura starts towards him, frightening Harold. Harold, what, please, what? She allows the feeling of Bob to come over her, and she begins to scream. Harold steps back, but Laura grabs him to his face with a horrifying expression on hers. Fire, walk with me. She buries herself on his shoulder. Laura whispers, the trees, the trees. They break. Laura, you have to hide the diary, Harold. You made me write it all down. He doesn't know about you. You'll be safe. She stares at Harold, her eyes wide and terrified with suspicion. Laura, you're not Bob, are you, Harold? If you are, you can kill me right now. Kill me right now if you are. Harold, Laura, no, I'm not. I'm not Bob. Begins to shake and cry. Harold, poor Laura. I wish I could help you. He holds her. Laura, I hate him. I hate it. Sometimes I love it. But now I'm afraid. I'm so afraid. Harold, but you're strong, Laura. So much stronger than I. How can I help you? I can't. I can't even go outside. Laura reaches up and tenderly touches his cheek. Harold, but what about James? Can't James help you? You two are so in love. Laura, flat. He's in love with a girl who's dead. She hands him the diary. It is dangerous for you to have this. I'm sorry. Harold, thinking only of her. I'm so sorry, Laura. She pulls him to her and kisses him passionately. Laura, I don't know when I can come back. Maybe never. Laura slowly goes out of the door. Harold can only watch. Scene 76. Exterior, Harold Smith's apartment day. Laura goes out to her car. Scene 77. Interior, exterior, Buick Roadmaster day. Laura starts the car and takes another snort of cocaine. Laura pulls out onto the highway. We stay with her, watching her face, struggling with the prospects of the terrifying future. Scene 78. Interior, Palmer dining room night. Laura rushes in to find her mom setting the table. Sarah stops and stares at Laura. Sarah, you lied to me about those school books. I found them upstairs on your bed. Laura, suspicion and paranoia. What were you doing in my room? Sarah, I was looking for that blue sweater that you borrowed, which I found balled up in the bottom of your closet. Now, why did you lie to me? Where did you go? Laura, I had to see Bobby. I know you really don't like Bobby, but there was a problem. I didn't think you would understand. Sarah, oh, honey, you don't have to lie to me ever. You can tell me anything. I'll understand. Laura, I'm sorry, Mom. Sarah, now hurry. Dinner's almost ready. Your father says he's starving. Scene 79. Interior Palmer dining room night. Laura is already at the table. Sarah puts the rest of the dinner on the table and sits down just as Leland Palmer enters from the kitchen. He is pretending he is a giant, using a voice like a giant. Leland, big giant voice. Hello, Laura. Hello, Sarah. Where's my axe? I'm hungry. Sarah. Oh, Leland. Laura, embarrassed. Dad? Leland, suddenly speaking Norwegian. Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh, I can't even do this. Hi, glig multa demjeg hater Leland Palmer. Translation is, how are you? My name is Leland Palmer. Laura and Sarah stare at him. Leland, the Norwegians are coming next week, and I want you to learn to say what I just learned in Norwegian, so you can talk to them. I want you to learn to say, hello, my name is Leland Palmer. Laura, but my name isn't Leland Palmer. Sarah, neither is mine, and can't we talk about something serious for a change? Leland, this is serious. Mr. Benjamin Horn's got a delegation of Norwegians coming in next week, and I want both of you to learn to introduce yourself. Sarah, you first. Leland repeats his phrase for Sarah. Sarah stumbles through it. Leland repeats this phrase back to her, extends his hand in a friendly handshake. Leland, good. We'll practice some more. Laura, now you try it. Laughingly, Laura does the same thing. After Laura is done, Leland says, all together now. Leland extends a hand to each of them. An air of insanity seems to come over the Palmer dining room as they all begin to laugh hysterically and talk in broken Norwegian. Scene 80. Interior Laura's room, late night. The clock reads 11:30. Laura's hands open the window and release the screen. Laura silently sneaks out the window and down the side of her house. Scene 81. Exterior side of the highway, later. A big semi comes to a stop at a wide spot in the road. Laura climbs into the truck. Scene 82. Interior truck, same. The trucker smiles, eager. Trucker. Friend of Leo's, right? Partyland? Laura begins to unbutton her blouse, turns and sneaks a toot of cocaine. Trucker catches her. Wait a minute. Leo says this is my party. Laura puts her hand between his legs. Laura, if you can fuck and drive the party. Oh, I'm sorry. If you can fuck and drive, the party starts right now. Momentarily taken aback, the trucker stares at her. Laura takes his hand and puts it on the gear shift. Laura, you shift that one? This one's mine. She climbs over on top of him. Scene 83, exterior of the truck, same. The stack blows. The truck rolls away onto the road. We watch it as it moans into the distance, the sound slowly diminishing and fading. Nature's nighttime sounds take over. Finally, we hear the hooting of an owl. 84, exterior, Philadelphia FBI office day, reestablish. Scene 85, interior, FBI office day, Albert and Cooper. Albert. Cooper, the ooze of mumbo jumbo is rising up above our heads. Do you honestly think Cole's practice of word association works? Cooper, the very fact that we are talking about word association means that we are in a space that was opened up by our practice of word association. The word is a hologram. Oh, I'm sorry. The world is a hologram, Albert. Albert, yes, it's a great big psychedelic circus ride, isn't it, Cooper? Cooper. Albert? Albert. You said Teresa Banks, so you think something is going on somewhere in the world right now that is connected with her murder? Cooper. Yes, either right now or right when I thought it. The name and memory of Teresa Banks is haunting me. Lately, I have been filled with a knowingness of with a knowingness that the murderer will strike again. But because it is only a feeling, I am powerless to stop it. And another thing, Albert, when the next murder happens, you will help me solve it. Albert, let's test it for the record. Will the next victim be a man or a woman? Cooper, a woman. Albert, what color hair will she have? Cooper, blonde. Albert, tell me some other things about her. Cooper, she's in high school. She's sexually active. She's on drugs. She's crying out for help. Albert, you're describing half the high school girls in America. What is she doing right now? Cooper closes his eyes to see a mental picture. She is preparing a great abundance of food. Albert lets go a small laugh of disbelief and shakes his head in exasperation. Scene 86, exterior Double R Diner, afternoon, establish. Scene 87, interior Double R Diner, afternoon. Laura comes out of the kitchen, stacking some of her meals on wheels on the counter. On screen, it reads, Friday, 6 days before. Norma Jennings and Shelley Johnson watch from the cash register. Shelley is ringing someone out, handing back their change. Norma. Shelley, would you give Laura a quick hand with the meals on wheels? Shelley. I'm kind of busy, Norma. Norma. You're not busy, sweetheart. Now go. With a little squeeze of the hand and a gentle shove, Norma moves Shelley towards Laura, who is at the end of the counter. The door opens to the diner, and Ed and Nadine Hurley come in. Nadine stops when she sees Norma. Nadine. I changed my mind. I don't want any coffee, Eddie. Nadine goes out. As she walks past Ed, he looks at Norma and makes a what can I do gesture. Ed. Sorry, Norma. Ed goes out. Shelley and Laura. Shelley approaches Laura sheepishly. Shelley says, Can I give you a hand getting the dinners together? Laura. That's all right, Shelley. I know you have better things to do. Shelley, disregarding the jab. Ooh, and so when Laura says, I know you have better things to do, she's referring to Bobby. Because Shelley says, Shelley, disregarding the jab. Okay. Norma asked me to give you a hand. Laura, okay, you can help me carry them to the car. Shelley gathers up a pile of the dinners and takes them out to the Meals on Wheels car. Scene 88, exterior, the Double R day. Shelley loads her stuff in the back. She returns to the diner, and Laura follows, doing the same. As Laura places her dinners in the back, something catches her eye, and she turns. Laura's POV. Mrs. Treeman and her grandson are standing in the parking lot staring at Laura. Mrs. Treeman waves to Laura to come over. When Laura comes to them, Mrs. Treeman holds out a framed picture. Mrs. Treeman, this would look nice on your wall. She hands Laura the picture. It is a picture of a room with flowered wallpaper and a dark doorway in its corner. Laura's study of it is interrupted by the grandson. Grandson. He's looking for a book with pages torn out. He's walking towards the hiding place. He's moving under the fan now. Shelley comes out of the diner with another load of meals. Laura turns back to her and then back to the Treemans, who are walking away from her and are farther away than they realistically could be. Laura comes up to Shelley in a panic. Laura, Shelley, you really can help me. I can't do the Meals on Wheels today. I just can't. Shelley, okay. Laura runs off. Shelley puts her load into the car as she watches Laura. Scene 89. Interior Double R day. Shelley goes to Norma. Shelley, Laura just took off. She asked me to do the run today. Should I do it? Norma, what's with that, Laura? Yeah, sure. Take a look around. There's no one here. Anyway. Shelley, you're right. There's no one here. Norma, there's no one here. It's like so random. Shelley, Norma, are you all right? Norma just turns away and picks up some dirty dishes. Norma, come back as soon as you can. Shelley, if Leo comes here, he won't believe that I'm out doing the Meals on Wheels. Norma, don't worry, Shelley. I'll handle Leo. Shelley leaves the diner. On Norma. In the empty diner, Norma walks over and sits in a booth. She studies the empty diner. After a while, the cook, Toad, calls from the kitchen. A distant, forlorn call. Toad says, kind of quiet. Close up on Norma. She starts to cry. Scene 90. Exterior Palmer House day. Laura runs home, holding the picture for Mrs. Treeman throughout. Laura, frantic whispers, he's looking for the book. He's going to the hiding place. Laura stops and stares. Her house suddenly looks very frightening to her. She slowly crosses her front yard and enters the house. Scene 91. Palmer House. Laura comes into the front door, still holding the picture. She crosses through the dining room. Scene 92. Interior Palmer House stairs day. Laura moves ever so slowly up the stairs, the fan still and silent above her. At the top of the stairs, she stops and stares at her bedroom door. Her whole body is shaking. Her hand goes out in front of her. She touches her bedroom door and inches it open. Scene 93. Interior Laura's bedroom day. The opening of the door reveals more and more of her room. Suddenly, it reveals Bob standing in her room at her dresser. He has pulled the dresser away from the wall looking for something. On Bob, he is frozen, smiling at her. On the scene, with a scream, Laura bolts from her room. Scene 94. Exterior Palmer House, same. Laura races out of the house, still holding Mrs. Treeman's picture. Scene 95. Exterior Palmer's neighbor's house. Laura runs across 2 yards to a large tree and falls to her knees, crying. She looks up and sees her father come out the front door of her house. She watches him cross to his car and drive away. Laura, frantic whisper, what? It can't be. It can't be him. No, no. Laura is coming apart, sobbing. Behind her on the sidewalk, a neighbor has noticed her. Woman, Laura? A closer look reveals how upset Laura is. Woman, what? Laura, are you all right? Laura turns away so the woman can't see her crying. The woman takes a couple of steps off the sidewalk onto the grass. Laura, trying to hold it together. I lost my necklace. It must have fallen. Laura mimes that she has found her gold half-heart necklace. She pretends to be clasping her gold half-heart necklace, which was already around her neck. Laura clumsily, oh, here it is. Woman moves back to the sidewalk. Woman, well, I'm glad you found it, darling. Slowly, Laura stands and moves away, leaving Mrs. Treeman's picture on the grass under the tree. Scene 96. Exterior Palmer House. Laura stands in front of her house, terrified. 97. Interior Palmer House. No Bob. Listens to the house, stands in the entranceway. Scene 98. Living room. Laura listens, hears nothing. Scene 99. Stairs and hallway. She stops and stares at the fan, then slowly makes her way up the stairs towards her room. Scene 100. Interior Laura's room. No Bob in her room. The dresser is back in its place. Laura races out. Scene 101. Exterior Palmer neighborhood streets. Laura runs down the sidewalk. Scene 102. Interior Hayward House day. Donna answers the door. Laura stands there out of breath. Donna. Laura? Laura. Donna, are you my best friend? Donna. Of course. Laura dives toward Donna into a hug. Donna. What is it, Laura? What's wrong? Laura. I just want a friend. Just one friend for just 1 minute. Donna. Laura, how about one friend for the rest of your whole life? Laura. Yeah, yes, that's what I want. Thanks, D. Donna. Okay, L. Looks into Laura's eyes, a step toward confronting something unspoken. I am your friend, always. But sometimes, lately, I feel that you don't like being around me because I'm so uptight. Off Laura's look. Donna continues, no, I am uptight. I hate it. I don't want to be this way. But Laura, I mean, I'm your friend no matter what way you are. Laura, you know, even when I think about your face, I get happier. They go in and sit down on the couch. Donna, do you want to talk? Laura, no, I want to smoke. She digs for a cigarette in her purse. Donna, I'm in a mess today, too. Takes a breath. I'm thinking about doing it with Mike. What do you think? Laura, still looking for a cigarette. Donna, you were such a crack up. You don't even like Mike. Is this what you're going to do to show me you're not uptight? Donna, this is about sex, not like, yells to the kitchen. Mom, Laura's here, and I think I will have one of those huckleberry muffins. To Laura, you want a muffin? Laura, if I can smoke it. Donna, you want a muffin? Laura, Donna, you are a muffin. They hear Doc Hayward in the kitchen. He walks in with a magician's handkerchief. With a flourish, he tries to pull something out of it. Instead, he stands there empty handed. Doc, the red rose. Where is the red rose? Frustrated. You know the light at Sparkwood in 21? It worked right there. I just did it right there. Laura finds a cigarette finally and lights it. Doc stands and stares at Laura smoking. Why is it that you can't smoke at your home? And I'm a doctor, and I don't allow smoking in my home, and I let you smoke in my home. Laura, smiling her killer smile, because you love me so much. Doc, I do love you, you little smoking whippersnapper. Eileen Hayward brings out the muffins on her lap in her wheelchair. 4 have muffins. Eileen, these muffins each have at least 7 full huckleberries in them. While eating, Doc takes out a piece of paper and stares blankly at it. The girls exchange glances about what Dad is doing as they chew on their muffins. Doc is struggling. Donna, Dad, what in the world are you doing? Doc, what the hell is this? Donna peeks over his shoulder. Donna, it's a prescription. Doc, it is? Donna says, Dad. Doc, my handwriting is so bad that now I can't even read it. You girls better hurry up and graduate from high school so you can take care of me. Donna and Laura, we'll take care of you. They go over to Doc and give him a knuckle rub. Eileen laughs along with the 2 girls. The phone rings and Doc gets it. Are you seeing like a pattern here? Like there's no mention of the angel in the script. That whole subplot that went through the whole movie came out of the filming of the movie, not the screenplay. Fascinating, isn't it? All right. Doc on the phone. Yep, she's right here, Leland. To Laura. Doc, it's for you. It's your father. Laura goes tentatively to the phone. Laura, hello? Leland's voice. Time to come home for dinner, honey. Laura hangs up the phone. Laura, I gotta go. Donna leads Laura to the door. There's something wrong, and Donna is beginning to feel it. Donna tries to cheer her up. Donna, goodbye, muffin. Laura, no, you're the muffin. Laura leaves. As Donna closes the door, Laura calls back to her. No, you're right. I am the muffin. Scene 103. Interior Palmer House night. Laura comes in the door, and there is Leland at the dining room table ready for dinner. Leland sees her. Hi, honey. How's Donna? Laura. Fine. Leland. School? Laura. School's fine? Leland. Sit down, sit down. Are you hungry? Laura. Not really. Laura just plops into her seat. Leland says, you didn't wash your hands before you sat down for dinner, did you? From across the table, Leland looks at her fingernails. He stands to come for a closer look. Leland, let me see. Laura, Dad. Close up, Laura's ring fingernail. Leland, your hands are filthy. Look, there's dirt way under this fingernail. Just want to pause for a second and show that I met Ray Wise a few times, and he actually signed the script here at this scene. That was his choice to pick this scene, of course, to film it or sign it, I should say. Sarah, cigarette draped from her lips, is delivering some mashed potatoes to the table. Sarah, Leland, what are you doing? Leland, look at this finger here. He is looking at the finger. Sarah, Leland, Laura didn't wash her hands before dinner. Noticing the necklace. And look at this. He reaches for it. Laura's hand flies up and stops him. Leland's other hand comes up and she lets him take the half heart out. Leland, oh, is this from a lover? Laura has no response. Leland, did you get this from your lover? Sarah, they don't call them lovers in high school, Leland. Leland, Bobby didn't give you this. Sarah, how would you know if Bobby didn't give her that? Leland starts pinching Laura's cheek. Leland, did Bobby give you this? Or is there someone new? Sarah, Leland, leave her alone. She doesn't like that. Stop it. Leland, how do you know what she doesn't like? A beat, then a return to what is normal. Sarah, oh, Leland, sit down and eat your dinner. Leland, oh, I'll sit down. But none of us are going to start eating till Laura goes and washes her hands. Leland sits stoically. Laura rises from the table. As Laura washes her hands, scene 104, interior bathroom night. As Laura washes her hands, she stares at her reflection, terrified. Scene 105, interior Laura's bedroom, Laura's clock. It says 10:35. Scene 106, interior Leland and Sarah's bedroom. Sarah and Leland get ready for bed. Leland stops, stands frozen for a moment, then begins to cry. Sarah, what is it, Leland? Leland can barely speak. Leland, I can't remember the last time I told Laura that I loved her. Sarah goes to Leland. They embrace tenderly across the many years of their strained marriage. Sarah, well, honey, go in and tell her now. Scene 107, interior Laura's bedroom. Laura stares at the hands of the clock. With a start, she looks up. Her father is in her room. He stands in the doorway. Leland, Laura, honey. He moves to her and touches her face. Leland, I love you. I love you so much. Laura can hardly speak. She squeezes his hand. Good night, princess. He leaves the room. Laura watches the door close. She sits frozen for a moment with a tear in her eye. Then she remembers something. Mrs. Treeman's picture. The picture lies there in the night dew under the tree in the neighbor's yard. Scene 108, exterior Palmer House, outside Laura's bedroom. Laura goes down the trellises and runs across the lawn. Scene 109, exterior neighbor's lawn night. Laura hunts around the tree for the picture, finally finds it. She runs back towards her house. Scene 110, interior Laura's room night. Laura climbs through the window and hangs the picture on a little hook on the wall and crawls into bed. She turns off the light and stares at the picture in the dark. Scene 111, interior Laura Palmer's bedroom night. She is asleep. 112, Mrs. Treeman's picture. We hold on the picture. As if by magic, we suddenly begin to move into the picture, into the room in the picture, and through the dark doorway in the room in the picture. On the other side of the dark doorway, there is another room. Mrs. Treeman is standing there in that room. She is beckoning us towards her and beyond her through yet another doorway. We move through the second doorway, and on the other side of that doorway, there is another room. Mrs. Treeman's grandson is standing in that room. He is holding his hands above him as if he's grasping an imaginary glass ball. As we move towards the space between his hands, a ring of fire appears there, and we move through that into Scene 113, the Red Room. The man from another place walks into the Red Room to a table. A ring lies upon the table. Cooper enters the Red Room. The man from another place turns towards Cooper. Man from another place. Is it future or is it past? Do you know who I am? I am the arm, and I sound like this. The man from another place puts his hand in front of his lips and makes an Indian whooping sound. The man from another place picks up the ring and moves it very close to us. We recognize it as Teresa Banks' ring. The symbols on the ring are identical to the symbols of Owl Cave. Cooper seems concerned. Cooper, to the camera. Don't take the ring, Laura. Don't take the ring. The man from another place moves the ring towards us till the ring fills the screen. Scene 14, back in Laura's room. Laura, in a what the hell's that word? Somnambular state, is half awakened by a noise. She tries to move her left arm, but it has fallen asleep. Like Teresa Banks, I guess, right? She moves it with her right arm. Sound effects. The noise. It sounds as if someone is calling her name on Laura. She turns to her right to see who it is. Then turning back to her left, she discovers Annie Blackburn lying in bed with her. Annie has blood around her mouth. She tries to raise herself and strains to speak. Annie, my name is Annie. I've been with Laura and Dale. The good Dale is in the lodge and he can't leave. Write it in your diary. On Laura's door, her mother calls out her name. The sound is distant and mournful. On Laura, Laura looks towards her door, then turns back to Annie, but she is gone. Filled with fear, she looks down, and in her hand is Teresa Banks' ring. She screams. Again, her attention is drawn to her door and her mother's distant call. Still holding the ring, she gets out of bed and goes to her door and slowly opens it. It is dark on the other side of the door. At the doorway of Laura's bedroom, in the doorway, Laura gets a strange feeling in back of her and turns to look at Mrs. Treeman's picture. There in the picture is Laura herself in the doorway, looking back into the darkened rooms where Mrs. Treeman and her grandson were. Scene 15, Mrs. Treeman's picture. Laura is in the picture. In the picture, Laura turns around in the doorway of the picture and looks down at her room. Laura can see herself asleep in her bed. Close up Laura asleep on her bed. On the scene, she wakes up from her dream, trying to clear her head. Looks at the photo and nothing is there. Looks like the day before. She looks in her hand and the ring is gone. Laura gets out of bed and goes to Mrs. Treeman's picture hanging on the wall. She stares at it. She slowly takes it off the wall and places it in the trash. Trembling, she does 2 lines of coke. Scene 117, exterior Palmer House morning. On screen it reads, Saturday, 5 days before. James comes by on his bike. He beeps out a signal on the bike's horn. After a beat, Laura runs out to him. James, where were you last night? We were supposed to get together. You didn't show up. Laura, you were supposed to show up. Maybe I wasn't. James, well, we were supposed to be together. Laura, how can I be together if I'm not together? James, you're on something again, aren't you? Laura says, James. James says, well, when am I going to see you? Leland comes out of the door of the house, looks at Laura and James. Laura can feel him staring. Laura, I gotta go. James just looks at her and then guns his bike and roars away. Laura walks back up to the front door where her father stands. Leland, who was that? Laura, friend from school. Leland, special friend? Laura looks at her dad, eyeball to eyeball for a moment, then she walks past them to the stairs. Scene 18, stairway day. The fan turns slowly as Laura goes up the stairs. Bob's voice. Laura. Laura's head snaps around. Laura says, no, go away. Bob's voice. I'm glad you let me talk to you. You used to not let me talk to you. Laura. Go away. I'm not talking to you. Bob's voice. I want you. Sarah Palmer is at the bottom of the stairs. Laura? Laura jumps. Sarah. Laura, now I can't find that blue sweater. Did you take it again? Laura. Mom, what are you wearing? Sarah looks down. She's wearing the sweater that she's looking for. Sarah. My God, I'm going to have another breakdown. God. Laura. Mom, take it easy. Laura starts down the stairs towards her mother. Sarah. No. This can't be happening. Laura holds her mother. Laura. Mom, you're not having a nervous breakdown. Sarah pulls away from Laura and wanders into the living room. Laura watches her go, feeling helpless. Scene 119. Interior Johnson's kitchen's day. Leo Johnson is ragging on Shelley. He is down on his hands and knees, showing her how to scrub the floor. Leo. Someone who knows how to clean, knows where the object was before she started cleaning, and then that object goes back to exact same spot, Shelley. I know where everything in this house is. Sometimes on the road, I mentally go through this whole house and picture where every item is. Shelley. Lay off the bennies, Leo. Leo, continuing on his tirade. Anybody can clean the surface of an object, but dirt can find its way anywhere. To really clean, you have to scrub below the surface, where the dirt is, Shelley. He scrubs more. Leo. That's one thing you're going to learn, Shelley, how to clean. It takes scrubbing, Shelley. There is no easy way. This is where we live, Shelley. Shelley. As if I didn't know. Leo. I'm going to show you how to wash this tile, and then you're going to do it. Shelley. Come off it, Leo. I'm late for work. Leo. What did you say? Leo goes over the top, pulls Shelley down to the floor. Leo. Shelley, I'm not fooling around anymore. The first thing you got to work on is a good attitude. That's the key. Anybody will tell you that. Gives her a good shot to the back of the head. Shelley falls to the floor, and the phone rings. Leo gets up to get the phone. Leo, don't even think about going anywhere, Shelley. I'm not finished with you. He answers the phone. Leo, what are you doing calling me here? No way, you already owe me money. 5,000 to be exact. Leo looks over at Shelley suspiciously. Did she hear him mention the 5,000? Shelley silently mouthing, 5,000? Scene 120, interior Double R day. Bobby is calling from the payphone at the diner. We hear the end of the conversation with Leo. Bobby hangs up. He puts in another quarter and dials again. The phone rings on the other end. Scene 121. Interior Roadhouse day. A nearly empty roadhouse. Jacques Renault answers the phone behind the bar. Jacques, how come you only call me when you are desperate? Are you desperate, baby? Scene 122. Interior Double R day. Bobby, you interested or not? Jacques, maybe, Bobby. Baby, maybe. I have a friend who has what you want. Stuff is the best. Bobby starts to write information down on a napkin. Oh, ha. Bobby says, Jacques, you crazy Canadian. This sounds big. Of course, the movie says you crazy fucking Canadian. I always hated that so much, that characters that we had seen for 29 plus hours who never really cussed ever in the TV show all of a sudden start cussing in the movie. No. New characters can cuss, but not established characters with established, ways of speaking. No, it was a big mistake. I can't believe that they left that line in from Danny Ashbrook. They should have just put it in the way it is in the script. Makes sense. Okay. Scene 123, exterior Palmer House night. Donna drives up in her car and gets out. Scene 124, interior Palmer House living room night. Laura is having a quick shot from the family liquor cabinet. A knock on the door. Laura pulls a jacket on and goes to the door, opens it and sees Donna. Donna looks at her coat. Donna, where are you going? Laura, no place fast, and you're not coming. Donna, come on, Laura, I'm your best friend. They move back into the living room. Laura changes the subject. Isn't tonight the night you're going to do it with Mike? Donna, Laura, aren't you going to fix me a drink? Laura shoots her a look. Donna, where are the cookies? Laura, you mean Fred and Ginger? Donna, dancing. Donna looks around at all the ashtrays filled to the brim with butts. Donna, looking at the cigarettes. If I had a nickel for every cigarette your mom smoked, I'd be dead. Laura, gotta go, Donna. I'll call you tomorrow. Laura leaves the house. Donna trails behind. Scene 125, exterior Palmer House night. Laura gets into her mom's Roadmaster and takes off. Donna watches her go and gets in her car and follows. Scene 126, interior the Roadmaster night. As the first stop sign, Laura takes another hit of cocaine. Scene 127, exterior Roadhouse night. Laura parks her car and gets out. At the entrance to the roadhouse, she meets the log lady, who seems to be waiting for her. She steps close to Laura. Log lady, when this kind of fire starts, it is very hard to put out. The log lady touches her. Her hand is cooling on Laura's head. Laura moves in behind it, pushing the cool hand into her face and forehead. Laura whispers, Margaret? Log lady, the tender boughs of innocence burn first, and the wind rises. Then all goodness is in jeopardy. They look into each other's eyes. The log lady turns and leaves. Interior Roadhouse night. Lots of bikers and the usual gang. On stage, a singer sings. As Laura comes in, she makes eye contact with Jacques Renault, who is behind the bar. Laura sits at a table. Jacques nods to a couple of burly truckers who come over to Laura with drinks. One of them slides her a 50 with a packet of cocaine inside. Trucker, let's go around the world, babe. Laura, this isn't going to get you to Walla Walla. They all take a drink. Trucker, you do go all the way, don't you, little girl? And Laura says, sooner or later. Laura reaches below the table, grabbing him hard by the balls. Laura says, you willing to go all the way, huh? You want to do it for me? All the way for me means all the way. Dead. She delivers a better line in the movie. Like that ad-lib was a better one in the movie. The trucker turns a couple of shades towards white. Donna comes in just as a beautiful song of lost love begins. Laura and Donna see each other as the truckers toss down bourbons and beer chasers. Laura gets lost in the song and starts to cry. Okay, so what they did was they kind of just rearranged, they kind of moved stuff up and just shot it a little differently than the script. Interesting. It's weird how like the script's written and they kind of just shift things around. Yeah. Donna just stares at her from the other side of the roadhouse. After the song, Donna stands and walks over to Laura's table. She reaches down, picks up one of the trucker's bourbons and downs it. Donna, let's boogie. Trucker to Donna, you part of the deal? Laura answering for her, no, she isn't. Laura and Donna stare at each other. For Donna's benefit, Laura turns and gives a big, juicy French kiss to one of the truckers. Laura to the trucker, what was your name again? And trucker says, Buck. Laura, Buck, that was really nice. Donna grabs Buck's buddy, Tommy, and gives him the same type of kiss. Laura, very serious. All right, Donna, let's go. Scene 129, exterior, Highway 21 night. The car barrels down the highway. It's a beat-up Chevy Biscayne with a hot monster engine under the hood. Scene 30, interior car, night. Tommy drives sitting next to a case of ice-cold beer. Donna and Laura sandwich Buck in the back seat. Donna takes a long swig of beer. Laura hides a hit of cocaine from Donna. Donna to Laura, a little afraid. What are you doing? Laura. Nothing. Laura laughs at Donna, then holds a beer up to show Donna, then turns and French kisses Bug. Donna reaches forward to the front dash and turns the radio up full blast. Buck and Tommy start to whoop and yodel like cowboys. Buck does an Indian whoop in Laura's face, and Laura freezes in horror. Flashback, the red room, the man from another place yodels. Scene 132, interior car, Highway 21. Slowly, Laura reaches over and touches Buck's face and arm. Buck uncorks another yodel. The fear leaves Laura. Donna to Laura. I'm going for it. Donna starts making out with Buck. Scene 133. Exterior border truck stop night. Establish. Tommy takes the car like a rocket into the parking lot and does a complete 360 before rocking to a stop. I love this moment in the missing pieces when you see it because it's really cool because there's a giant sign that says Cooper's Tires, and then they're spinning around the car doing donuts, what's called donuts, right? They go around in circles. So you have Cooper's Tires and then donuts right there, all in the same frame, with Laura being the character in the car. It's one of the weirdest things, but it's very cool. I wish that had made it into the movie. Okay. Yeah, it does a complete 360 before rocking to a stop. Several big rigs shadow the lot. They all pop out of Buck's car sporting long necks. Laura takes a hit of cocaine and looks up to see Donna watching. Buck circles Donna with his big arm and puts a toot under her nose. Donna. No, turns to Laura. I don't need to take this to be your friend. Laura. Yes, you do, Donna. What a downer you are. Buck, pointing to skid marks behind a heat-popping car. Hey, Tommy, Jacques beat us here. Tommy, hold on. I'm choking the farm fed. Tommy stands in the lot with his back to them, pissing. Scene 134. Interior border truck stop night. The front room is a bar and restaurant with about 3 patrons. Above the bar is a sign that reads, Canada and US of fucking A. The bartender presses a release under the counter that allows Laura to take her 3 friends through a door over which a sign hangs announcing in red neon letters, Partyland. Scene 135. Interior, Partyland. The group enters a large room with the filthiest wall-to-wall carpet imaginable. In the back corner is a small stage. On it, a 3-piece hell metal band is building up toward oblivion. The lead singer is dressed in a buffalo skin, complete with at least half the buffalo head and horns. He wears spray-painted day-glow orange cowboy boots. Some half-dressed girls and cowboys are dancing to the band. In darkened corners away from the stage, other groups are racing the band to oblivion. Laura leans over to Donna, noticing her shocked look. Laura, don't expect a turkey dog in here. Jacques Renault comes up to the group. Jacques, hey, slow pokes, guess what? There's no tomorrow. He grabs Laura up and gives her a big, sloppy, wet kiss. Jacques, baby, you know why? 'Cause it'll never get here. Laura, hey, Jacques. Jacques, no, Jacques. I am the great Went. Laura, I am the muffin. Jacques, and what a muffin you have. The 2 truckers laugh with Jacques. He mimes a gun with his right hand and pointing it to his forehead, pulls the trigger with a weak, slack cheek puff sound. Jacques, I am as blank as a fart. Laura winks at Buck as he secretly drops a red depth charge into Donna's beer. Laura, hey, Donna, chug a lug. As the cowboys gather around and begin to chant, Both Laura and Donna chug down their drinks. They finish, and Laura smiles and pushes Donna out onto the dance floor. They start to dance expertly and smile at each other. Soon, Buck and Tommy cut in, separating the two. Buck dances Laura over to another of his buddies. The two of them start to unbutton Laura's blouse as they dance. The Hell Metal Band kicks into high gear. In the pulsating red and black light, Donna sees Laura, now topless, dancing and kissing with Buck and his friend. Donna stops and Jacques sweeps in. Jacques, oh, Laura's friend, I am the great Went. Jacques holds her head in his huge hands. There is no tomorrow. Donna's POV, the world starts to spin. We move around through the evening. I was just thinking that reminded me of the last song in the Industrial Symphony #1 called "The World Spins," right? Yeah, just kind of reminded me of that. Scene 136, Interior Roadhouse. Donna, a completely stoned Donna, is being danced around by Tommy, who is falling in love with her. Through some dancing legs and feet, she spots Laura's blouse on the floor. Teetering, she leans over, picks up the blouse, and ties it around her waist. Ronette Pulaski. Ronette Pulaski, flying high, makes her way through the crowd to Laura. They spot each other and give each other a hug. Ronette, you smell nice. Laura, haven't seen you since I was thrown out of One-Eyed Jack's. Ronette, trying to focus on Laura. What else did we do together? Oh, I remember. Tries to dance with Laura. Ronette continues. Hey, you know what? It's been a year. She's been dead a year. She's been dead a year. Jacques comes up to them. Jacques, the party twins. My high school sandwich. Let's put some meat inside. The three of them move around together. Ronette. She's been dead a year. Jacques. Who? Ronette. Teresa. Laura. Teresa Banks. Yeah, a whole year. Ronette. Yeah, she was going to get rich. She was blackmailing somebody. Jacques. That's right. She called me. She even asked me what your fathers look like. Laura, jolted. What? She asked about my father? Jacques. But it wasn't him. She was after a huge guy, 6'4" with a broken nose. She said he looked just like a boxer. Speaking of sandwiches, I think Bobby was arranging something for you. Gets an idea. Speaking of arrangements, why don't you come up to the cabin this week? Leo and I know that Santa Claus is coming to town Thursday. Ronette, Laura, and Jacques sway with distorted smiles. Ronette and Laura as they hug and almost kiss. Okay, Jacques. Laura turning to kiss Jacques. The great Went. Buck and another friend move in on Laura and Ronette. Buck pushes Laura down on the carpet and gets on behind her. His friend does the same to Ronette. The two girls find themselves face to face. Ronette, here we go again, like we're back at One-Eyed Jack's. Laura, moaning with pleasure. Oh, God, it sure is. Ronette looks over Laura's shoulder. Ronette, shit, is that Donna Hayward? Laura looks across the rug through dancing legs and sees Donna head tilted way back with some new cowboy on top of her. As Laura sees Donna, Bob's voice comes onto the soundtrack. See? See what we can do to Donna? Laura screams, no! Oh, God, no! So it's interesting when you see the movie and that giant white light comes on Laura's face when she's looking at Donna. That's where Bob's voice was going to be, and that explains why she starts screaming. No, it's kind of does it need to be there? No. Would it have been cool to have been there? Sure. So Laura stumbles and runs to Donna, grabbing Jacques on the way. Laura screaming to Jacques, "Get her out of here! Get her out!" He doesn't seem to be listening. Laura shouts, Jacques! Laura falls, full of panic, to Donna. Laura, Donna, what are you doing? Rips her blouse off her waist. Donna is completely gone. Laura shakes her and screams into her face. Laura, don't ever wear my stuff. Don't ever wear my stuff. Never. Donna, okay, I won't wear your stuff. Why can't I wear your stuff? Laura, Jacques, help me get her home now. Jacques lifts Donna up, and Laura follows Jacques and Donna out of Partyland. Donna continues to mumble, Donna, I won't wear your stuff. Then laughing, I promise. Laura, crying, holding Donna's hand, not you, Donna, not you. 137. Exterior, Twin Peaks Church, Sunday morning. On screen, it reads, Sunday, 4 days before. Folks filing out of the church, a couple strolling down the sidewalk. A happy dog bounds about. Scene 138. Exterior, Big Ed's gas farm and the Hurley house day. Out in the yard of the Hurley house, Ed Hurley tries to skin a deer, which is hanging off a branch of a tree. He is not having much luck and is not showing much enthusiasm either. Nadine Hurley comes storming out of the house with her own very large butcher knife, very upset with Ed's progress. Nadine, Ed, pushing him away. I'll take over here. Ed backs off and Nadine dives in slicing. Nadine, you were cutting this deer like a sissy. Sit down and watch while I do it again this year. Ed slowly backs into the house. Excuse me. Scene 139, interior Hurley house day. Ed joins his assistant, Sparky, and they stand in the living room gazing out the window at Nadine ferociously skinning a deer. Ed, with a wink, works every year. They laugh. Sparky, sure wouldn't work at my house. My wife couldn't take the wrapper off a Twinkie. Exterior, scene 140, exterior, clearing in the woods, day. This is so random because they haven't even been introduced yet in this movie, and here they are. Yeah, so scene 40, exterior, clearing in the woods, day. Sheriff Truman and Josie Packard break from a kiss. Smiling, Truman goes back to gently strumming his guitar. Truman, Josie, I think we should go public. Josie, that would be wonderful, but it's only been a year since Andrew died. Truman, what are you afraid of? What people think? Josie, I don't want to offend the customs of your country. Truman, believe me, Josie, you would not offend the customs of this country. For instance, I don't eat fish eyes. Josie, fish eyes? Truman, even if it offended someone, I wouldn't eat a fish eye. Josie, smiling, why wouldn't you eat a fish eye, Harry? Truman, I saw a guy eat a fish eye once in Seattle. He was digging through his food with his chopsticks for about 5 minutes till he found the fish eye and he dropped it into his throat. I guess it must have gotten stuck in his uvula because right away he started to have trouble. His throat began to flutter there like there was a wind blowing. And he couldn't swallow, and they rushed to him and loosened his collar, and they were asking him if he was all right, and he started to turn blue, and his eyes started to roll back into his head, and he still couldn't get the fish eye out, and they tried to do a Heimlich maneuver. I went over to him as they were preparing to do an emergency tracheotomy. They were over him with a knife when he suddenly shot the fish eye out of his throat and right onto the ceiling. Splat. It just stuck up there and spread out. It was about the size of a $50, and that's why I don't ever eat fish eyes. He plays the guitar for Josie, then stops. Truman continues. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just the way I feel. It's the custom thing I was thinking of. In America, we don't use any part of the fish, but the meat, just to the side of the insides. We throw away the tail, the rest of the insides, and the head. Josie, I understand. Truman, we throw away the whole head. I don't even understand what the point of that scene is, but okay. I mean, you can see why that scene was cut out. Oh my lord. um, let me take like a 40-second break here. I gotta take a glass of water here. Let's see. I don't know. Hopefully you guys are having fun with this. We don't have much to go, about 30 more pages, so hang in there. Hmm. All right. Here we go. Scene 141, interior motel room day. Philip Gerard, the one-armed man in a deep sweat, kneels in front of a circle of 12 lit candles, fighting for air and struggling to hear something. So it was going to go from Truman and Josie's. Okay. So it goes from the pink room scene to that church exterior that we get in the missing pieces, to Ed and Nadine cutting a deer, to Truman and Josie having a picnic, talking about fish eyes. And then it cuts to that other scene in the missing pieces of Philip Gerard in the motel room saying firewalk with me. Weird. Super weird. Okay. All right. Scene 142. Interior Hayward House living room day. Donna and Laura sit across from one another on the couch. Donna, I can't remember anything about last night. Is there something I should remember? Laura, no, you should forget about last night. Donna, Laura, I am your friend. Laura, I know you are, and you don't have to do anything crazy to prove it. Donna, you're not mad at me? Laura, no. Donna, I feel so bad. I had nightmares all night long. They all knew you at that place. Laura, what can I tell you? Donna, how did the car get back here? Laura, we got it back. That's all. Donna, how did I get in the house? How did I get in my bed? Laura, I can't help you there. Donna, was I wearing something of yours and you got mad at me? Laura, all my things have me in them. I don't want you to be like me. Donna, but I love you, Laura. Laura, and I love you too, but don't wear my stuff. Donna, why do you do it, Laura? Laura, because I like it. She takes Donna's head into her hands and kisses her. On Leland. Leland is standing at the other end of the room. As he stares at the girls, we move in on his face. Scene 43. Interior, exterior, Blue Diamond City Motel. Leland flashback. Leland looking into another room, seeing Laura and Ronette sitting face to face on a bed. Scene 144. On the scene, Leland looking at the girls. Leland. Excuse me, honey. Laura turns to him with a start. Leland. We're late to meet Mom for breakfast. Donna. To Laura. Catch you later. Leland and Laura leave. Scene 145. Interior Leland's car. Day. Leland and Laura drive along. Leland becomes preoccupied with something in his rear view mirror. Laura turns to see a car erratically coming up behind them. Leland slows down and stops for a red light at Sparkwood and 21. In front of them is a huge logging truck. Laura smells something. Laura, Dad, is the engine on fire? Something is burning. Leland turns and gives her a look. The car that was tailing them races around the logging truck, and comes back around, stopping on Leland's side of the car. Leland spots Gerard, the one-armed man behind the wheel, sweating like crazy. Laura, something is burning. Leland starts to rev his engine while holding the brake with his left foot. Leland, it's the engine. Gerard, you stole the corn. I had it canned above the store. Leland is panicked. The car is slowly screeching towards the large lumber truck in front of them. Gerard looks at Laura. Miss, the look on her face when it was opened. There was a closeness, like the Formica tabletop. The car is now smoking and making a horrendous sound. Gerard continues to yell, but we can barely hear it. Gerard says, "The thread will be torn, Mr. Palmer. The thread will be torn." Leland turns to Laura. Sweat pours from his forehead. While Leland is turned away, Gerard holds up his hand with a ring on the little finger. He is shouting over the engine noise and the horn, which Leland has begun to blow frantically. Gerard shouts, "It's him. It's your father." Laura can't make this out over the noise. The light turns green. Gerard takes off away from them. As soon as the logging truck moves, Leland lets go of the brake, and the car flies into a service station on the right. Everyone around there has been watching a commotion on a Sunday afternoon. Laura, "Dad, what was that all about? Who was that?" A young mechanic runs up to their car. The mechanic says, Mister, you shouldn't do that to your engine. You got to take it easy, mister. You're going to burn your engine out." Leland, "What the hell was all that? Why doesn't someone do something about all this? My God, that guy came out of nowhere. He was harassing my daughter." Leland stares at Laura, trying to compose himself. Laura, "Dad, are you all right?" Scene 146. Interior Palmer House. Close-up Flesh World magazine. Leland flashback. The title Flesh World on a magazine. In the magazine, we see Leland find a picture of Teresa Banks. He whispers, "Teresa Banks, you look so much like my Laura." Leland dials the phone. Scene 147. Interior Blue Diamond City motel room. Close up Teresa Banks. She is talking on the phone. Teresa, "That sounds like fun. Where did you see my picture?" "Okay. Come to the Blue Diamond City Motel." "Yes, that's your side of Blue Diamond City. I'll be there. Room 123. Right. As in get ready." Scene 148. Interior Blue Diamond City motel room later. Leland on top of Teresa in bed. All whispers. Teresa, "When's the next business trip, big fella?" Leland, "Soon. How about next time we party with the girlfriends you told me about?" Teresa, "I can arrange that. I like that." He kisses her and covers her eyes with a hand. Teresa, "What are you doing?" Leland, "Who am I?" Teresa, "I don't know." Leland, "That's right." End of flashback. Scene 149. Back in the car with Laura. Leland is still sitting and staring at Laura. Laura trying to get his attention. Dad, who was that? How do you know him? He looked familiar. Have I met him?" Leland, "No, you haven't met him." "Have you met him?" Laura, "No." Leland, "We're late to get your mother." Laura, "Just sit here for a moment. You seem very upset." Leland, mumbling to himself, "Guy just pulls up out of the blue. I mean, what is this world coming to?" Scene 150, Leland flashback, Blue Diamond City Motel. Open on a sign saying Blue Diamond City Motel. Leland comes down an outside walkway towards an open room. Suddenly, he stops short and jumps back. He cautiously takes a second look and sees Laura and Ronette sitting on the edge of a king-size bed talking. Leland is about to leave when there is a tap, tap, tap on his back. He spins around to see Teresa Banks, who has come up behind him. Teresa, "What's wrong?" Leland, moving further from the room. "Nothing. I chickened out." He shoves a wad of money into her hand and practically runs away. Teresa cocks her head and wonders while she watches him hurry away. End of flashback. So even the little jumpy man, the black dog runs at night kid, not in the script. And you can kind of tell that's the added on moment, because when the kid jumps out, Ray Wise turns his head around and looks like, "What the hell is that?" And then when he notices it's like something weird, he just keeps walking. So it's like it was definitely I think a Lynch improv moment there. All right, scene 151. Back in the car with Laura. Leland and Laura are in the car. Leland starts the car. Laura, "Are you sure you're okay?" Leland, "Yes." Leland pulls out onto the road after they drive for a bit. Laura. Dad? Leland. Yes? Laura. Did you come home during the day last week? Leland. No. And Laura says, Oh, I thought I saw you. Leland. You know, I did come home. Come to think of it, on Thursday, I had a severe headache, and I was driving the neighborhood, so I just started in and out of the house. Where were you, Laura? I didn't see you. Laura. I was down the street. Laura studies the look in her father's eye as long as she dares and then turns away. Close up Leland as he drives along. Scene 152. Flashback, Blue Diamond City Motel. Teresa watching with her head cocked as Leland hurries off. Scene 153. Interior Roadhouse. Jacques on the phone. Jacques. Hey, Teresa. What? Teresa's voice. What does Ronette's father look like? Jacques. Short guy, heavy set, balding. Teresa's voice. What does Laura Palmer's father look like? Jacques. Very handsome, wavy black hair, looks like a movie star. Scene 154. Interior, exterior, payphone on Teresa. Teresa into the phone. No, this was a big, huge guy. 6'4", nose broken like he was a boxer. Teresa hangs up the phone and redials, smiling as though she has won the lottery. Interior, Leland's office. On Leland, he answers the phone. Leland, hello? Teresa's voice. Hey, handsome. This is your little party girl. On Leland's face, his jaw tightens. 156, exterior Double R Diner. Leland pulls the car into the Double R. Sarah stands out front waving. Sarah, where were you two? All right. Scene 157 says omitted. And then it cuts to 158. Clock in Laura's room. It reads 8 o'clock. Laura sits at her desk, staring off into space. Scene 159. Laura's flashback begins. Highway 21. Laura remembers the one-armed man yelling out to her. Her attention now goes to his one hand. She remembers the look of the ring he was wearing. Scene 160. Laura's flashback continues. The red room. Then she remembers the man from another place giving her the ring in her dream. It is the same ring. 161. Laura's flashback continues. Blue Diamond City Motel. Then she remembers being in the Blue Diamond City Motel with Ronette when Teresa entered the room. Teresa. The guys split. Teresa sits down between them and brings them close to her in a sexual embrace. Teresa brushes away some hair that's fallen over her face. As she does this, Laura sees the same ring. Teresa, as she moves the hair away. I guess it's just us girls. End of flashback. Scene 162, interior Laura's bedroom. Laura says to herself, the same ring. Laura is jolted by Bob's voice. Bob says, that's not important. I will tell you what is important. The fan will soon be starting. Laura, who are you? Who are you really? Bob, I am the one who wants to breathe through your nose and taste through your mouth. Scene 163, interior Palmer living room night. Leland pacing in the living room. 164, Leland flashback. Nighttime in the woods, we see Leland crush Teresa Banks' face and skull with a pipe until she is dead. We hear the gurgling of the Wind River behind her. End of flashback. 165, interior Palmer living room, back on Leland. Leland continues to pace. He wipes some sweat from his forehead. 166, interior Palmer House dining room morning. A sign on the screen reads, Tuesday, 2 days before. Laura sits at the dining room table eating her breakfast. Leland pokes his head in. Leland cheerfully, don't forget, it's Johnny Horn's birthday today. Scene 167. Interior Laura's room. Minutes later. Laura's hands are shaking and she does a line of cocaine. It is the last stuff she has. She puts the empty packet into her diary. 168. Interior high school day. Laura corners Bobby in a hallway. Laura, I'm nearly out. Bobby, it's taken care of, babe. You and I are going to make a big score tonight. Gives her a bag. This will tide you over. Laura, thank you, Bobby. A big score? Bobby, maybe our biggest. I'll see you 2 doors down from your place at 11. Laura, don't be late. She takes off down the hall. Rounding another corner, she sees James coming towards her. James looks around to see if the coast is clear, and seeing it is, moves close to her. James, I've got to see you. Laura, not now. James, this afternoon? Laura, okay. Laura remembers. Oh God, it's Johnny Horn's birthday today. James, well, what about tonight? Laura, I can't tonight. James, what's going on? Laura, freaking out. I just can't, James. I can't do it. Oh, maybe he got that line from her, which is why he tells Ed in the pilot, "You want to go for coffee?" And he goes, "Can't do it." I love it. Laura keeps going. Donna comes around next to James. Together, they watch Laura walk away. That is a moment that should have been in the movie. Having James and Donna together in the same frame together, obviously highlighting what is to come. That's a shame. Anyway, 169. Exterior, Great Northern Day. Establish. And then scene 170. Interior, Great Northern. Benjamin Horne's office day. Open on Laura's picture on top of Ben Horne's desk. Then discover that Leland is staring at Laura's picture. Wider, we see Benjamin Horne trying to blow up a large rubber Indian for his son Johnny. Sylvia and Jerry Horne stand nearby supervising. Johnny comes up 1 inch in front of Leland's face. Johnny, happy birthday, Johnny. Leland, happy birthday, Johnny. Johnny moves to 1 inch in front of Jerry's face. Johnny, happy birthday, Johnny. Jerry, happy birthday, Johnny. Ben reacts to a huge moccasin print in the middle of the birthday cake in the middle of his office floor. Ben, why did we have to have the party here in my office? Sylvia, because Johnny wants it in your office. What's so private about your office anyway? Why can't we have the party in your precious office? Jerry, it's a lovely place for a party, Ben. And look at the new decorations Johnny's provided. They look down and see Johnny's foot completely ringed in white frosting roses. Frosted footprints trail behind him everywhere. Johnny goes 1 inch in front of Laura's picture. Johnny, happy birthday, Johnny. Leland looks again at Laura's picture. He looks up at Ben. Leland, oddly confrontational. Don't you have a picture of Audrey, Ben? That sets Sylvia off again. Sylvia, don't you have a picture of your own daughter, Ben? Where's Johnny's picture? And where's my picture I gave you? Ben, at the photographer's studio, getting a gold frame with floral monograms of your birthday and our wedding vows. Johnny moves 1 inch in front of Ben. Johnny, happy birthday, Johnny. Ben, trying not to explode. Happy birthday, Johnny. Jerry, Johnny, let your daddy and your uncle and Leland talk. Turning to Ben. Ben, Leland, we can play the French against the Norwegians. What do the French love more than anything? Leland, boating? Jerry, no. Leland, hiking? Jerry, no. Leland, eating? Jerry, you'd think so. Leland, sex? Jerry, you're getting warmer. Leland, trees? Jerry, exactment. They are nuts about wood. They get goofy over trees. Sylvia, I've never heard anything like this before. The French liking wood any more than anyone else likes wood. Are you three crazy? Leland, Sarah's cousin is French, and she can't stop talking about the trees around here. Jerry, history is on our side, Ben. It's no accident the great explorers were named Hennepin, Nicollet, Marquette. Leland, they were looking for wood. Sylvia, exasperated. Ugh. As they talk, Johnny circles the blow up Indian and with a mighty bang pops it with his tomahawk. Bang. Cut to scene 171, interior Twin Peaks Sheriff Station conference room day. Tommy the Hawk Hill, Truman, and Andy Brennan. Hawk. Joey just called in. Bernie the Mule left Canada about an hour ago. Truman. Then stop watching Jock and let's set a trap for Bernie. Andy. He's coming in on foot. Truman. That's right, Andy. Looks at him waiting. I guess you're saying there's an awful lot of trails for us to cover. Andy. No, I was thinking what a long hike Bernie has to make. Hawk, sensing an Andy situation, says, I'll get on it. 172, interior Ben's office day. Laura quietly lets herself in. Ben looks up, happy to see her. Laura, very quiet. I just wanted to say hello. Ben, you missed the party. Look at my office. Come here. Ben, he wiggles a packet of Coke in front of her and she steps to him. Ben, for a kiss? Laura, sure. I'd do a lot more than that for it. Ben, shh. Your father's in the next office. You should have seen him get upset at Johnny's party about your photo here. Laura, he's always been jealous of you. You know that. She moves in closer and kisses him. He responds. Scene 173. Exterior, Highway 21 night. Bobby roars through the night with his radio blasting. Scene 174. Exterior, Palmer House night. Reestablished. Scene 175. Interior, Laura's bedroom night. The clock reads 10:59. We move across to get a glimpse of Laura going out the window. Scene 176. Exterior, 2 yards away from the Palmer's night. Bobby's car skids to a stop and Laura jumps in. Scene 177. Exterior, Bobby's car night. Whipping down a dark road. Scene 178. Interior, Bobby's car night. Laura and Bobby tooting Coke as they fly through the night. Bobby, we got to wait till midnight, but I got plenty here to make it, and I got plenty of dough right here. Bobby pats the money that sits next to him. For Bobby and Laura's big score. He does a big clown laugh. Laura erupts with the giggles. They toot up some more. Bobby tromps on the gas. 179. Exterior, the country road, same. Pete Martell's powder blue pickup passes them going the other way. We stay on the pickup as it pulls into Big Ed's gas farm. Scene 180. Interior, exterior, Big Ed's gas farm. Pete Martell pulls up into the station and Big Ed comes out to meet him. Ed, hey, Pete, can't believe your tank's dry up at the mill. Pete, no, hell no. Just got in the truck, started driving, looked down at the gauge and saw a big E staring at me. Ed, you know what that big E stands for? Big Ed's gas farm. Pete says, yep, you're right. That's why I'm here. Ed, what'll be? Pete, fill her up. Ed, you got it. Pete, I haven't got it yet. Ed laughs. Ed, nice night. Pete, yep. Yes, it is. Ed starts to clean his windshield. Pete points out something on the windshield. Pete continues. You missed something, Ed? Ed, moving around trying to see it. I did. I don't see anything. Pete, yeah, look in here. Look at it from this angle. Ed puts his head inside the truck. Ed, I see it. Reaches up to touch it. Hell, it's on the inside, Pete. flips him the rag. The inside is your territory. Pete starts to clean the inside of his windshield while Ed returns to work on the inside. Pete, even this heavy work beats being at home with the ball and chain. Ed, brother, I hear you talking. Scene 181, exterior of the woods night. Bobby and Laura pull into a little clearing. Bobby kills the lights. The doors open. Laura and Bobby start to make their way through the woods. Scene 182, exterior, the woods night. Laura and Bobby continue through the woods. It gets spookier and spookier. They reach the meeting place, awesomely quiet until a twig snaps, then a distant howling of a wolf. Bobby and Laura sit on the floor of the woods and do some more toot. Laura picks up a leaf and shows it to Bobby. Bobby, I found a leaf. After a moment of staring at it, they both begin to giggle. She picks up a twig. Laura, Bobby, I found a twig. They giggle twice as hard. Laura picks up a pine cone and starts knocking him on the head with it. Bobby, I found a pine cone. They giggle 3 times as hard and start crawling around giggling. Suddenly they hear footsteps. They freeze and they try to stifle their giggles. Bobby, here he comes. Laura, here he comes. They both start laughing again. They see a guy coming through the woods. We recognize him as the sullen deputy from Deer Meadow, Cliff Howard. Bobby, suddenly serious. Who sent you? Cliff. Jacques. Laura. That's right. The deputy takes out a very big bag of Coke, showing it to them. Laura. Wow. Laura just grabs it out of his hand. The deputy takes out his gun. Bobby panics and pulls out his gun. Bang. Bobby shoots the deputy in the shoulder, but the deputy still prepares to shoot at Bobby, so Bobby shoots him again, this time in the chest. The deputy spins and tries to run, but Bobby shoots him again in the back. He topples over dead. They stand there frozen. Absolutely no more giggles. Laura, God, Bobby, what did you do? They just stand there looking at the dead body. Bobby, I shot him. Oh my God, I shot him. Bobby starts for the dead body. Bobby, come on, you got to help me. With Laura's help, they get the body back to the clearing. They fall down to their knees, out of breath, staring at what they have done. Their faces register the shock of just having killed someone. Laura looks at Bobby's stunned expression. Laura, look at your face. A laugh squirts out of Laura. Bobby turns to her in disbelief. Laura, Bobby, you killed Mike. Bobby stares at her for a second like Laura has gone insane. Bobby, this isn't Mike. Suddenly unsure, surreal. Is this Mike? Laura, Bobby, shh. You killed Mike. Bobby breaks. They begin to laugh uncontrollably. 133, exterior woods night, wide shot. The distant sounds of Bobby and Laura laughing. Up closer, the wind takes over, and even closer, a hooting of an owl. Scene 184. Interior of the Palmer's house, fan and stairs night. The fan spinning. Then the fan's POV down on Laura entering the stairwell. We drift down on Laura. Bob's voice. I want to kill through you. Laura stops cold on the stairway. Laura looking up. No. Bob's voice. I want you to kill for me. Laura. No. Never. You'll have to kill me. Bob's voice. I want you to kill for me. Laura looks up petrified. Scene 185, interior high school day. The trophy case with Laura's homecoming queen picture within. On screen it reads, Wednesday, one day before. Bobby catches up with Laura in front of her locker. He shows her the $10,000 they were going to use to pay for the drugs last night. Bobby, babe, I'm on my way out to the woods to divvy up the product. Put this cash in your safety deposit box. It's $10,000. Laura, acting really serious. You killed Mike. Bobby is about to get really pissed when Laura starts laughing again. Bobby fights to stay in control. Bobby, I'm not going to give you this if you don't stop laughing. It's not one goddamn bit funny. Laura stifles her laugh with all her might. Bobby hands her the money. After a beat, Laura starts to laugh, but stops herself again by biting her lip. Bobby is furious and scared. Laura covers her mouth. Bobby breaks again. Scene 186, exterior of the woods day. Bobby's car skids to a stop. Bobby jumps out and pops the trunk. He unwraps the big bag of cocaine from a blanket. He tears a little hole in it to enjoy a taste test. The second it touches the tongue, he panics and frantically takes a deeper test. Bobby screams, "Laxatives! Shit!" He sprays and throws the powder every which way in a rage. Scene 187. Interior Laura's room night. Laura lies in bed. She leans over to the bedside table and snorts a line. The phone rings and startles her. She answers it. Intercut with Scene 188. Interior Dr. Jacoby's office night. Jacoby on the phone. Jacoby, Laura, you didn't come and see me today. Laura in a whisper, I couldn't. It was Johnny Horn's birthday. I promised I'd be with him. I told you not to call me here. Jacoby, a little trouble with your parents is the least of your worries and something I am certainly willing to put up with. Laura, I'm not. Jacoby, did you make me a tape? Laura, I already made you 2 tapes. Jacoby, Laura, you have to deal with all of this. Laura, I'm dealing with it, Doc, big time. Maybe I'll make you a tape tomorrow. Good night. Jacoby, send me a kiss. She hangs up. Scene 189, interior Leland and Sarah Palmer's bedroom night. Sarah, at her vanity, puts a cigarette out and walks to her bed as Leland brings a big glass of warm milk to her. Sarah looks up at Leland and they share a look as she drinks the milk. After Sarah finishes her milk, Leland walks into the hallway. Scene 190, interior hallway night. Leland hits the fan switch. Scene 191, interior stairs and fan. The fan comes to life. Take a second here. Scene 192, interior Laura's bedroom night. Laura freezes when she hears the fan. She closes her eyes. Scene 193, interior Palmer bedroom night. Sarah's head is nodding. Her heavy eyelids close. Her eyes pop open once more. Sarah sees the white horse in her room, and she falls asleep. Scene 194, interior Laura's bedroom night. The room is dark. Laura is pressed up against the headboard of her bed, staring at the window. The fan ominously whirls in the hall. Bob appears in her window and enters her room. Bob moves down on top of her. Her hand moves between her legs. Laura fights with all her might to keep staring at his face, to know it, to unlock it. Her hands go up. She holds his face, squeezes it as he moves on top of her. Slowly, what she always knew deep inside of her becomes clear. Bob becomes Leland. She screams and passes out into hell. Scene 195, interior Palmer House dining room day. Close-up bowl of soggy cereal. On this image, the words last morning come on. Sarah sits at the dining room table smoking. Laura pushes her spoon around in a soggy cereal. Leland stares at her. Leland, Laura, I would like to talk to you. Something wrong? Laura gets up and leaves the room. Leland stares at the empty door. He waits for a moment and then follows her. Sarah nervously watches him go. Interior Laura's room. Laura's getting her school materials together when Leland enters. Leland, Laura, what's wrong this morning? Laura, whispering, stay away from me. Never taking her eyes off him, she works her way around him and leaves the room. We stay on Leland. His face changes. He knows, she knows, and he knows what he has to do. Scene 197, exterior sidewalk in front of the Palmer House day. Laura walks to school. All the beautiful natural sounds of morning sound like hell to her. Distorted chants from hell. Excuse me. 198, interior high school classroom day. Laura studies the clock hand going around and around. Every sound in the room is distorted. The bell rings. In slow motion, Laura rises from her chair. Camera stays on her empty chair. The chair she will never sit in again. Dissolve to scene 199, interior Palmer dining room night. A plate of asparagus. The mashed potatoes and the roast beef have been mostly eaten. On screen, it reads, "Last night." Laura and her mother sit eating alone. Laura, I hate asparagus. Sarah, sure you do. It's good for you. They eat in silence for a moment. Laura, where's Dad? Sarah, Ben asked him to stay late to plan for the Norwegians. Laura, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go to Bobby's to do my homework. Sarah, it's a school night. Back by 9? Scene 200. Exterior Briggs house night. Establish. Scene 201. Interior Briggs living room night. Mrs. Betty Briggs lets Laura in the front door. Hi, Mrs. Briggs. Betty. Hi, Laura. Bobby's in the basement. Laura. Right where he belongs, right? Garland Briggs chuckles off screen. Scene 202. Interior Briggs house. Basement recreation room night. Laura comes downstairs and sees Bobby lying on the floor, his hands covering his eyes. What's up, Bobby? Laura sits down next to him. Bobby, bad news, kid. It was baby laxatives. Laura, what was? Bobby, the stuff we got last night. Laura, baby laxatives? We can't snort baby laxatives. Bobby, no shit. We killed a guy for baby laxatives. Laura, what is the world coming to when you kill a guy for baby laxatives? Bobby, don't get funny with me again. Laura, I'm not, Bobby. I'm going to need some more stuff. I mean it. I'm out. Bobby, yeah, and I'm going to need that $10,000 back. Laura, sure, but I can't get it until after school tomorrow. Bobby, let's ditch this place and party. Laura, not tonight. Just give me something to take home to hold me over till tomorrow. Bobby, why? Why not? Where are you going? Laura smiles and leans forward. She kisses him and he responds. Laura, Bobby, I'm going home to bed. My nice, warm bed. They kiss again. He looks up and listens for his parents. Bobby whispers, we can do it right here. Laura flat. Bobby. Bobby sees she's not in the mood. Bobby, you don't want me. You just want the stuff, don't you? Laura stares at him. Bobby, it's okay. He reaches in his pocket and gives her a nice big pocket of Coke plus pills. Bobby says, Bobby's got it. Laura taking the packet. Thanks, Bobby. Looking at the packet. And my little round friends, too. They head upstairs. Scene 203, interior Briggs living room night. Mr. Briggs is reading aloud to Mrs. Briggs from the Book of Revelations. As Bobby hears this, he turns to Laura and makes a look of horror, which says, can you believe I live here? Laura smiles. Bobby takes Laura to the door. He gives her a small kiss. Good night. After she leaves, he cuts back through the living room, and just as he clears the room, he lights up. Briggs, looking up from the Bible. Robert, put out that cigarette. And Briggs returns to the Bible. Scene 204, interior sheriff station, interrogation room, night. Sheriff Truman and Andy sit at a small table with donuts and coffee. Andy monitors the radio. Lucy Moran cuts through on the intercom. Lucy over the intercom. Sheriff Truman? Truman hits the intercom button. Truman. Yes, Lucy? Lucy over the intercom. Mrs. Packer called and she said she heard what she thinks could be a prowler outside her house. Truman. Okay, Lucy, I better get on over there. He releases the intercom button, but Lucy continues to talk over the intercom. Lucy's voice. It's probably raccoons, which is what it was last week. Truman to Andy. You stay here and monitor the radio. Let me know right away if you hear from Hawk. Lucy's voice. And last week, I thought of the same thing. Andy. Okay, Sheriff Truman. Lucy's voice. Raccoons remind me of my aunt who lives in Wyoming where they have raccoons too. Truman stands up, puts on his gun, and leaves. Lucy's voice continues as we watch Andy sit there alone. Lucy's voice. She couldn't get rid of her raccoons because she made the big mistake of feeding them albacore tuna. I don't know why she fed them albacore tuna, and albacore tuna is so expensive. Sheriff Truman, how did you get up here? Over the intercom, Andy hears Lucy make a small, hysterical cry. He stands and runs from the room. Stay on the intercom. Lucy's voice continues. Andy, are you there? I'm very confused. Who am I talking to? Andy, are you there? Scene 205, interior sheriff station, reception. Lucy gets up from the intercom. Lucy, maybe I'm alone. Whispers, frightened. Andy? Where did Andy go? She races from her station and collides with Andy coming up from the interrogation room. They both scream. Scene 206. Interior Palmer House living room night. Sarah sits smoking and reading a cheap magazine as Laura moves through the living room. Laura. Good night, Mom. Sarah. Good night, sweetheart. Laura moves up the stairs. Scene 207. Interior Laura's room night. She does 3 lines of Bobby's cocaine. On the clock, it reads 9:30. Laura's trying to hold on, and the phone rings. Laura whispers, James. Yes, okay. No, James, I do love you, but okay, I'll meet you in 15 minutes. She hangs up the phone and does another line of cocaine, then swallows down a handful of red round friends from Bobby, the pills. Laura, 15 minutes? God, why did I say that? What did I say? Now, for those of you who may remember or may not remember, in the pilot, the mom says that the phone rang once. So we have the phone ringing once, and Laura answers the phone. Now, in this movie, it's James trying to make a date with Laura to meet her later. But in the series continuity, Sheriff Truman traced this call back to Ben Horn's office, which is why Ben Horn was a lead suspect for a variety of other reasons. But that was another reason, a big one. And it turned out it was her dad who made the call from Ben Horn's office. So, yeah. So they kind of just got rid of that and they just made it James, which is weird because then if you go by the series continuity, that means James was in Ben Horn's office, which no, but that opens up a whole new set of questions. So you never know. Okay. Scene 208, interior, exterior Palmer House. As Laura sneaks out, she sees her dad coming home. This is a scene that should have been in the movie. Scene 209, exterior Palmer House. Leland comes out of the car. Laura ducks into some bushes and hides. Laura stops in the middle of the yard, sensing something. He looks right at where Laura is hiding. She can't tell if he can see her or not. She hears James' bike coming in the distance. Laura frantically to herself, go inside. Go inside. James's bike sounds closer and closer. Leland turns, opens the front door, and goes into the house. James drives up. Leland's face appears looking out the front window. Laura jumps on the bike behind James, and off they go. Scene 210, exterior Highway 21 night. James and Laura drive through the night. Scene 211, exterior clearing in the woods night. James brings the bike through the woods and stops in the little clearing. James tries to kiss Laura and she pushes him away. James, What the hell is wrong with you? Laura, that's right. There's no place left to go, is there, James? James, what do you mean? Laura, you know it, and I know it. James, what is wrong with us? We have everything. Laura, everything but everything. James, oh, Laura. Laura mimicking him. Oh, Laura. She gives him a terrible slap. James, ironic. You always hurt the ones you love. Laura, you mean the ones you pity. James, say anything you want. I know you love me, and I love you. Laura, I do love you. Let's get lost together. They kiss again, hot, hands everywhere. Laura breaks away. Shit. Maybe he'll kill you. James, what? Laura, when he finds out. James, what? Laura, Bobby killed a guy. James, what are you talking about? Bobby didn't kill anybody. Laura, you want to see? James, see what? Laura, right. Open your eyes, James. You don't know me. Even Donna doesn't know me. Your Laura disappeared. It's just me now. James grabs her, trying to control her, and she twists out of his arms. Laura, how about this, James? She lifts her hand and gives him the finger. James ignores the finger and kisses her, but she's gone ice cold. Laura, I think you want to take me home now, James. She leads him back to the bike, and he won't start it. Laura, oh, quit crying. I've had enough of your fucking caring. He kicks the bike to a start. Behind him, Laura watches and silently starts to cry. Scene 212, exterior Highway 21 night. Laura and James on the bike make their way down to Sparkwood and 21. Laura leans way back on the bike, looking up at the trees as they fly by in a dark blur. Laura and James. Laura, the trees. The trees. Laura screams with agony and tries to get off as they approach the light. Laura falls off as they skid to a stop. James, confused and terrified. Laura! Laura crawls back up and puts her hands around James's neck. Laura, from far away, she screams, James, I love you. For a moment, she focuses on him. She looks like the Laura that James loves, innocent and beautiful. Laura turns and sees the woods. It pulls her. She releases her hold on James and runs into the waiting darkness. I have to say, this scene in the movie is like perfect. When she runs off into the woods, it's like seriously one of the creepiest images that I've ever seen in a movie. The red light swings in the wind above James. It turns green, but he doesn't move. When the light turns red again, James guns the engine and lifts the bike up on its back tire. James screams, then roars down the road away from us. Off to the side of the road lies Doc Hayward's wilted red rose. Scene 213. Exterior Packard logging mill, midnight. Laura runs up to the woods. At the Packard logging road, Laura meets Jacques, Leo, and Ronette, all standing around Leo's red Corvette. Jacques, right on time, baby. Laura, buy me a ticket to the Great Went. Jacques, we're on our way, baby. Laura, let's go all the way. They pile into Leo's vet and peel out down the dirt road. Scene 214. Interior Jacques' cabin, night. The foursome getting roasted and toasted very high. Jacques starts to tie Laura up with some light rope. Laura, drugged, screaming, "Don't tie me up tonight. Don't tie me up." Jacques and Leo laugh. Jacques starts to tie Laura up while Leo holds her. Laura struggles and screams, begging them not to do it. With Laura tied up, Leo starts to tie up Ronette. Scene 215. Interior Jacques' cabin later. Both girls are half naked and have been tied up. Waldo the bird is screeching. Jacques is straddling Laura and is hurting her badly. He puts a one-eyed Jack's $1,000 poker chip in her mouth. Leo, bite the bullet, baby. Come on. That should have been in the movie. That's awesome. I mean, just bringing in one-eyed Jacks and it, yeah. Like a ghost, Leland appears in the window. No one sees him. Laura continues to scream. Leo gets up and goes for the bottle of bourbon. He takes a swig and then steps back to Jacques and Laura. Leo, referring to Laura, "Let me have a little of that." Jacques, pointing at the bourbon, "Well, let me have a little bit of that, baby." Leo holds the bottle tight. Jacques stands up and decks Leo with his big French-Canadian paw. He grabs the spilling bottle from the floor and stumbles outside. Exterior cabin night, scene 216. When Jacques comes out of the cabin, Leland trips him, grabs the bottle, and breaks it over Jacques' head, knocking him out cold. Leo hears the crash and comes outside. He sees Jacques bleeding on the ground. He panics and weaves down the hill to his Corvette and takes off. Leland goes into the cabin. His smiling eyes are on Laura while he rapes Ronette. Laura watches as her fear drives her to hysteria. Well, that didn't make it into the movie, did it? Oh my lord. 217. Exterior, interior log lady's cabin night. In the darkness, the log lady holds her log and listens. She hears distant screams. The camera then moves down to her leg to reveal her tattoo, beet red and burning. I'm speechless. I mean, that is just insane. And we don't get to see it, not even in the missing pieces. 218. Exterior trail, same. Philip Gerard, the one-armed man, runs like a madman up the trail towards Jacques' cabin. 219. Exterior pathway from the cabin, night. With the face of the devil, Leland double time marches Laura and Ronette out the cabin door and through the woods. Laura screaming, pleading for her life. Daddy. Daddy. Scene 220. Exterior Jacques' cabin, night. Gasping for breath, Gerard arrives at the cabin too late. He stares at the open doorway. Jacques lies passed out at his feet. Gerard cocks his head, strained to hear something. He hears distant screams. Gerard, "Bob, I can hear you singing." Scene 221. Interior train car night. Leland hauls the two girls into the train car. He slides the door shut and is completely quiet. Bob and Leland going in and out like breathing. The two girls shudder in the corner as he circles them. Leland grabs Laura and begins to wrap the twine around her arms, bending the arms back. Laura whispers, "Are you going to kill me?" Scene 222. Exterior woods night. Gerard tearing through the woods. The wind comes up carrying with it cries and screams and the sounds of Bob. Scene 223. Interior train car night. Leland hoists Laura up so that she hovers facing the floor, a foot off the ground. He places a mirror on the floor directly under her face. In the mirror, Laura sees herself turn into Bob. Leland screams into space, "Don't make me do it." Laura, "No, you have to kill me." Leland, "I always thought you knew it was me." Laura, into Bob in the mirror, "No, You can't have me. To Leland, kill me. Scene 224, exterior train car night. Gerard arrives outside. He bangs on the train door. Gerard, let me in. Let me in. The door opens a little bit because Ronette is pushing it with her feet. Gerard reaches up to help her when suddenly she flies over his head, having been hit. Ronette hits the ground, her unconscious head bent back at an odd angle. Gerard listens to the sounds of murder inside the train car. Scene 225, inside the train car. Laura screaming. The knife entering flesh. Bob screaming. Bloody knife through the air. Leland screaming. Scene 226, exterior train car. Gerard leans in to take a look and steps back laughing. He yells out for Bob to hear. That's his own daughter you're killing. He continues to laugh and runs away from the train car. Excuse me. A few moments later, Leland stumbles out of the car carrying the body of Laura Palmer wrapped in a plastic shroud. Leland's shirt is puffed out, a bloody towel inside. Scene 227, exterior woods river night. Leland / Bob lowers the plastic shrouded Laura into the river. Scene 228, exterior Glastonbury Grove night. Leland stumbles to the center of Glastonbury Grove and stops. A frightening wind carries haunting music. He digs into his pockets for the pages torn from Laura's secret diary. He tosses them and the bloody towel to the wind. He goes to the center of the circle of the 12 sycamore trees. The red curtains appear and he passes between them, entering the red room. Scene 229, interior of the red room. It is not empty. Gerard is just leaving the other side of the room. Leland walks through the red room after him. He walks down a corridor and into the red room again. There, on the other side of the room, Leland sees Gerard and the man from another place sitting side by side in a chair facing him. Leland stops when he sees them. He divides. One half becomes Bob. The other half floats up and becomes Leland, transparent. On Bob, he reaches up and grabs Leland's wound. Bob heals Leland's wound. Gerard and the man from another place speak in unison. Bob, you're not going home without me. I want all my Garmonbozia. Now, in the movie, when they said Garmonbozia, it said parentheses, pain and sorrow. But in the screenplay, Garmonbozia right there says corn. Isn't that interesting? All right. Scene 230. Exterior, water's edge by the Packard sawmill, dawn. At high tide, Laura Palmer's body is floating up and bumping against the logs. Scene 231. Exterior, Glastonbury Grove. On screen, it reads 2 months later. Not in the missing pieces, it says some months later. But in the script, it says 2 months later. Scene 232, interior hospital emergency ward night. Annie is being brought in on a stretcher. A nurse talks to a paramedic as they rush her towards the emergency room. Nurse, what happened? Medic, I don't know. Sheriff Truman just brought her in from Glastonbury Grove. Scene 233, interior the red room. The man from another place stands with Cooper. Man from another place. Is it future or is it past? Do you know who I am? I am the arm, and I sound like this. The man from another place puts his hand in front of his lips and makes an Indian whooping sound. Cooper looks at the table. Where's the ring? Man from another place. Someone else has it now, Cooper. That would indicate that it's the future. Man from another place. The later events have never been kept a secret. Cooper, where am I and how can I leave? Man from another place. You are here and there is no place to go but home. The man from another place begins to laugh uncontrollably. Scene 234. Interior hospital room night. A nurse mops the sweat from Annie's forehead. Annie tries to get through to her. Annie. My name is Annie. I've been with Laura and Dale. The good Dale is in the lodge and he can't leave. Write it in your diary. The nurse pats Annie's forehead and takes her hand. We see Teresa Laura's ring on Annie's ring finger. The nurse gently slides the ring off Annie's finger. You know what's really interesting is that, in the script, all the angel stuff was not in the script. And Laura does not take the ring in the train car in the script. So that was an added beat. I mean, James has talked about how, that close up of her putting on the ring was shot at a way different time because it's not in the script. So it's interesting. Scene 235, interior, another room in the hospital. The nurse enters with an anticipatory smile, then a selfish laugh. She puts the ring on her finger. Scene 236, interior hotel room, Great Northern night. Doc Hayward and Sheriff Truman watch the door of the bathroom anxiously. Truman, Coop. Doc, Cooper, are you all right? Not getting any response, Truman breaks open the door. Scene 237, inside the bathroom. Cooper in his pajamas lies on the floor. The mirror above the sink is shattered with blood all over it and the sink. Cooper smiles up at them strangely. Cooper, I slipped and hit my head on the mirror. The glass broke as it struck my head. It struck me as funny, Harry. Do you understand me? It struck me as funny. Doc, you are going right back to bed. Doc and Truman help Cooper up. Cooper, but I haven't brushed my teeth yet. Cooper smiles at the uneasy pair. Scene 238, the Black Lodge / Red Room. Laura is sitting in a chair. As the end credits begin, we move back to see that Laura is sitting in Cooper's lap in the same chair. Fade out. The end. There it is. There's the screenplay for Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, Teresa Banks, and The Last 7 Days of Laura Palmer. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a long session. Thank you for everybody who watched that. Yeah, so anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. Lynch says that Fire Walk with Me is going to play a key role in understanding the new season. So there it is. We just watched or read the whole script, and you can see why some of those scenes were cut out. I wish they had done the Ben Horn stuff. I think that would have been great. I would have loved to have seen that. Hang on, let me focus this, see if it focuses any better. There you go. But I would have loved to have seen a lot of these scenes in the movie, or at least in the missing pieces. But again, the missing pieces was only part of them. As you can see, there's so much more that they could have shown us and they haven't. So maybe that will come at a later date. But well, this was an interesting experiment. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much. But yeah, it's the script for this movie is so much bigger than the movie we got. And while I really liked the movie, it would have been interesting to see like a big version. But again, some of these scenes, it's like Cooper and Josie on a picnic. I mean, you know that that scene's not even gonna make it into the movie. And if you notice, the Josie Pete 2x4 scene's not even in the screenplay. So it's interesting to see what's in the script, what's not in the script. You know, the little add-ons they did, and it's just a fascinating thing. Lynch is a brilliant filmmaker, and I can't wait to see what he shows us starting Sunday night. We are 3 days away. So anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.